Good morning, pop culture. We are live. It is Wednesday, March 27th, 2019. It's 8:01 a.m., and welcome back to Good Morning Pop Culture. So last night on the High Council, I made a promise that if we hit 1,000 thumbs up, you guys would get an episode of Good Morning Pop Culture. And here I am. I'm a man of my word. So before we start all the topics, the fun topics for today, let's catch up with where I've been for the last couple of months. Well, if you haven't been watching the channel, you probably thought I disappeared. But at this point, I'd find it hard to believe that somebody would only subscribe to this channel and not the mainline channel. But if that's the case, I'm alive and here I am. So let's see. The year's been really, really good for the channel and good for me personally. We started last year with 10,000. We ended it with 74, and now we're at 100 and about 8. We'll hit 108,000 subscribers today. So World Class Bullshitters has grown. We've been putting out tons of videos, and behind the scenes, I've been working on the comics, and that's really about it. I thought I'd have a lot more to say about where I've been, but as you guys know, I'm on the High Council every week, big part of the fandom menace, and just happy to be doing YouTube. Couldn't ask for anything more. For those who may have missed it, on the podcast proper, World Class Bullshitters, we had worked a convention here in Cincinnati, Horror Hound, and it was a huge success. We had tons of people come out, hang out with us, take pictures, get autographs, all that stuff. It was new, but it was fun and very nice. So I'm looking forward to doing all that stuff again in Star Wars Celebration, having fun, meeting a lot more people this time because it's Chicago. I mean, Cincinnati is down here, Chicago is up here in terms of crime. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But that's really about it. I know a lot of people have been asking for Good Morning Pop Culture. And now that this channel is monetized, I can't promise that this will be back every day of the week because I just don't have the time right now between the book and the videos and getting ready for celebration and stuff. But like I said, I am a man of my word. And because you guys helped us get to 1,000 thumbs up last night, well, we got today. So don't worry about if we're back every day. Worry about the best show possible. And this morning, we're going to be covering all kinds of stuff. We're going to be talking about... I want to say it's the funniest thing I've ever seen happen from the government, but I'd be wrong. Now, we don't normally get into politics, but this Green New Deal was shot down yesterday with 0 votes in its favor. And the only reason I'm bringing it up today is because of some Star Wars references that were that were used in a presentation. I've about lost my shit. After the High Council, I was dead tired. I saw this video, boom, right back up. Couldn't sleep for another hour. So it's funny, so I hope you guys enjoy it. We're also going to be talking a little bit about this thing called the MCU. You may have heard of it. We got some news about Avengers tickets. I'll give you my own thoughts about a couple things moving forward with the MCU. I'll even tease a couple of the things we're going to do on the mainline channel, so you guys don't want to miss that. There's also some information about the New Mutants, the X-Men movie we've never thought we'd see. We're also going to be covering James Bond 25. We're getting ready to record our next Bond commentary, and that means we're more than halfway through. What is A View to a Kill? Number 13? Maybe, yeah. I think that's it. It's either, yeah, I think it's number 14. So that's where we are there. And then we're going to be covering an article about reboots. So be prepared. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see how many people are watching this. Normally we need 200 to start. Let's see. What do we have? We only have 32 watching. Ooh, well, we'll put it like this. For today, since I made a promise, we'll start. Normally the rule is 200 got to be watching, but well, this channel is very, very small. But if you guys want to see more of Good Morning Pop Culture, spread the word. So let's start this morning with a laugh. By the way, good morning to everyone in the chat. We got 32 folks. I could read them all, so I think I will say good morning to... Let's get this up first. So I want to say good morning to Logan Michael, Makita Good, Bell Caliber, the Appalachian American, Liquor Jim, Infinite Wonder, Darwin James WR, DJ Crunk Factory, great name, Cesario Japan, Grim Carnage, The Pui, there you are, The Pui, Alpha Terranema, Rugis, Etepalkuyan's Place to Be Reviews, Cruel Sorrow, O.R. Fraser, Action Figure Expert. Ooh, you're an action figure expert. We should talk toys. Send me any messages you want about action figures. I've acquired quite a few since we've last spoken, folks. There's this little thing called Christmas. Benobi, Ricardo Martinez, Neff Champion, and who else we got? Max Relax. What a great name. Have I missed anybody? Mellow Fungi, Tommy Sarkinen, 007 Cloud, Soul Assassin, and Mark Oquist. So there we go. So now we've said good morning to everyone in the chat, even though there are 50 watching. And let's start with a laugh. So political stances aside, we can all have a good laugh at something funny. So if you haven't looked into it, what is her name? Cortez out of New York had proposed this thing called the Green New Deal. And I've never heard of a bill get 0 votes. And I think, 42 people just voted president. Or, excuse me, not president. Present. Yeah, it's early. So anyway, this guy, this Senator Mike Lee, I don't know where he's from. He decided to tear apart her bill viciously. So he talks about fantasy land. He talks about things that aren't real. He doesn't even call it a legislative bill. And he has visual aids. And as you can see right here, the first visual aid was Ronald Reagan on a velociraptor carrying a tattered American flag. I believe he goes on to call this incredibly patriotic. And, you know, that's good for a laugh. We can always laugh at the stupidity of the Senate or people in it. But this image right here is why we have a good morning pop culture topic. Oh. So I believe he calls them space lizards, Tauntans. They're inhabitants of the planet of Hoth. And how the Green New Deal would affect stuff like that. We'd be riding around on Tauntans to save on greenhouse gas emissions. And I about lost it. It shows me that Star Wars is always going to be a part of the pop culture conversation. I know some people say, well, that's just, it's being basic. But, Empire Strikes Back, classic Star Wars, everybody gets it. It's a cross-generational thing. I know we usually talk about the demise of Star Wars, and sadly, that's where we are. It's in a decline. Doesn't make me happy to say that. But stuff like this just gives me a chuckle. It lets me know that, for one, Star Wars is cross-generational. So this guy and I probably have no things in common interest. But you know what? We both like Star Wars, so there's a beginning. And, it's good for a chuckle. I can't believe this was actually displayed to the Senate. This is a real thing. This is America. Folks, if you want to talk about what we're doing here, this is what we're doing. We're making fun of people with pictures of Tauntans and Aquaman and all this other shit. So I hope you guys found this as funny as I did, because seriously, go watch the video. It's something that you can't make up. Believe me, I wish I could make up stuff this funny, because I have an Onion-esque channel where I'd make fun of politics and make, millions of dollars in ad revenue, and would be freaking out like that. So there was that. And then it goes a little further, too. I mentioned our good pal Aquaman. And let's see, Aquaman does appear right here. So, again, I watched this actual video. These aren't Photoshops. I watched a lady pop this up. And it was hilarious. Let's see what you guys are saying about this. I can't stop chuckling about this bullshit. Let's see. Hail the president of Ohio. Thank you. Oh, classic Aquaman. Yeah. Tauntauns were freezing at the second marker before raptors were itching their daddy's pants. Ooh. So yeah, people do agree that this is fitting for good morning pop culture. Just a good chuckle. I don't know if I want to say that there's some sanity with this guy's points. Very, very funny on the nose, but I like it. I dig it a lot. Oh God, we got sausage talk in the chat. So is that a deformed Pokemon? No, that is what is that? That's from the Super Friends. I really do like that cartoon, even though it's kind of dated and a smidge hard to watch. I think Ted Knight was the announcer. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, which I live by. That's not a joke. When the guys came to town for Horror Hound, we actually could look over the balcony of our apartment, and there was the back of the Hall of Justice, aka Union Terminal. So if you think we're joking, no, the Hall of Justice is based on a real building. And if you go back into the channel archives, you can check out our video, Star Wars and the Myth of Costume, or something like that. And we went to that building. That's where that episode was filmed. So there we go. They have good quality for their prints. Yeah, they do have good quality for their prints. I was concerned. Like, okay, I've tried. I'm going to WrestleMania, and I go every year. And I've always wanted to take a giant cardboard cutout of my face or something ridiculous, but I can't ever find a place to print nice, high-quality ones with within reasonable price. But I guess, you know, when you got the money of the Senate to back you up, anything is possible. I know it looks fake, but I watched it on a thing, so I'm pretty sure that was all real. I don't think they photoshopped it. Plus, this is all from Twitter. And then there was something about babies, which I didn't watch that part of the video. But there we go, Luke Skywalker. Yes, the Hall of Justice is in Ohio. Jeff sent a tweet on WCBS. I tweeted out that we're live on the WCBS, whatchamacallit, Twitter. Why can't I think of that word? I haven't worked this early. I take that back. I've worked on videos and stuff early, but I don't have to talk. I don't have to think. I just kind of, you know, oh, it's time to draw a page for the comic. There we go. You know, it's second nature to me at this point. This is the only way I understand politics. Oh my God. It's the only way I'll make sense of politics in today's day and age. There are so many things going on that we won't even get into because maybe if we had a call-in segment, you guys could talk about your thoughts on Mueller and all that other shit, which is weird. I have an uncle with that name. So every time I watch the news and they talk about him, I go, is that my uncle? No, it's not my uncle. It's just somebody else. The comic is great. I'm getting 6 pages back from the colorist this week, so I can share some more, give another update. But I haven't been able to talk about this one publicly, but here's a little inside baseball for you listeners out there. If you back the book, we hit our goal of 50,000, or our goal was 20, so we blew past that. We hit 50. And I said, if we can hit 50, everyone's going to get an ash can edition of Anthology, the black and white comic. Well, I've decided, since there was a delay, I have somebody else coloring it, and those pages will be back to me on Sunday. So you guys are going to get the comic that was originally going to be in black and white. I've decided you guys deserve more, so it's going to be in full, lovely color. So your deal just gets better all the time. And the comic was initially advertised as, I think, 40 pages. It's going to be 50. So there may have been a wait, but you guys are going to get a much, much bigger story for the delay. So there you go, folks. I'm glad you guys are excited. Thank you for everybody for backing it. Almost done. And then, you know, I got a surprise to talk about, maybe at Star Wars Celebration, maybe soon enough. And it's not in regards to the next comic, but it's something awesome. Let's see. Any recommendations for a good Undertaker figure? Almost got the SH Figure Arts, but it doesn't look like it includes the jacket. Well, Alpha Terranima, I own SH Figure Arts The Rock. 2 of them, actually. I knew a guy who needed money, so I bought one off of him. And then at Toys R Us, I found one in the store, and they had a coupon, so I got it for super cheap. They're nice figures, and I love SH Figure Arts, but honestly, probably one of the Mattel ones, one of the higher end. I think there's a new Mattel coming out with a real scan technology and stuff, so maybe you want to wait up for that one. I mean, I like The Undertaker. I only own one, his American Badass figure. Well, technically it'd be his big evil figure with the short hair, but, you know, I don't really have too many recommendations. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Undertaker fan, but anything with toys, I will give you the best information I can and point you in the right direction. And if you're looking, check out, I think it's Ringside Collectibles. They definitely have the best selection. All their shit's new. And if you open it up, sometimes they get damaged boxes, and you guys can say, oh, no, 30%, because the box isn't collector friendly. And I mean, I open up all my shit. If somebody said, hey, man, I'll save you 30% if I can just ding this box, step on it. I don't care. Just don't break the toy or scuff the paint. We'll be good to go. Frank Hernandez, I'm glad you missed Good Morning Pop Culture. As I said, folks, on the High Council, if we could hit 1,000 likes, you guys would get this. So from time to time, we will make this happen. Now, I'm thinking we might do a nighttime car stream on the way to Chicago, because we'll be leaving on Wednesday to get there. Well, we'll be leaving Wednesday day, because we have to check in on Wednesday, and then, you know, it'll be fun. Maybe if anybody drives by us during the stream, you can wave and, we'll promote your channel and all that fun stuff. But there's going to be some morning content. And I will say, be prepared for a lot of stuff during Star Wars Celebration. I'm already working on actual videos to put out when I'm gone, but I'm going to be doing live streams and shit like that too. So you guys are definitely want to get all your notifications and be prepared, because that's going to be the craziest week for the channel so far. I mean, it seems like, oh, Star Wars Celebration. I said, no, you got to understand there's Celebration, then we got Avengers, then we got our anniversary series we've been working on, which is really cool. A lot of the live streams, here's something I did want to say earlier. Sorry for the disjointed nature. It's been a while. This channel serves two purposes. One, for Good Morning Pop Culture when the time allows it. And two, it's the WCBS archive. So if you're a patron and you have live streams with us, these streams will be archived here on this channel. I know Jeremy's been doing that with his personal channel. And to be honest, guys, if you do nothing but live streams, the channel just kind of wallows around and doesn't grow. So to avoid any problems like that and to give everybody what they want, we have two monetized channels, so everybody wins. Good Morning Pop Culture can be a thing, and so can, all the other shit on the main channel. No, Rugis, thank you for getting a Stealing Solo certificate. I appreciate you getting the book. That was part of the deal. Pray I don't alter any further. Actually, I have, like I told you, a better colored second comic. Now, the secondary story is called Anthology. It was created in 2014 by me, and it's weird. I went back to format the pages to send to this colorist, and I went back and I read my story. I looked at the artwork. Man, I've come a long way. But then I got these pages back from the colorist, and he has elevated the pages to a point where I'm like, I can't believe I drew this. So this guy is very, very good, and the story's fun. The first one is political in nature. This is more like a Twilight Zone EC horror comic all rolled into one. It's like what I want comics to be. If somebody could say, man, you can sell this many copies every other month if you do Anthology, I got 1,000,001 ideas. My mom and I once sat down and we wrote, all the concepts. I got one about an organ harvesting vacation spa. All this other crazy shit we came up with. It was hilarious. You guys, you like that stuff? Maybe we'll add those perks. Like the next book is Woke Busters. That'll be coming out towards the end of the year. Maybe if we hit a certain perk, I'll throw an anthology story in there too. I mean, anything's possible, guys. You guys make all this shit happen, and thank you. That's all I can always say. And by the way, we did forget at Horror Hound, we bought Dion a brand new costume. It's not the turkey suit. I think it's better personally. If we can see a tank tread of ones in the chat right now, I will tell you guys what the costume is, because that's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Was that a Chasing Amy reference there, Rugis? Cesare Japan, if you never got your certificate, all you got to do is shoot me an email, worldclassbs@mail.com, and I will send you one out today. I got excess ones. So just shoot me an email, worldclassbs@mail.com, thebestmail.com, and I will send you yours. So thank you. That's all I can say. Oh, there's Tap and Die. What's up, dude? I think you need a certain subscriber count to be able to get super chats. Do I? I got an email that said I was monetized. Let's see if that's a problem. We'll go check the stuff right now. Channel. I had to turn it on. Let's see. Let's see if that works now. Okay. There we go. I think now we're approved for super chats. Cool. It was weird when we applied for the super chats for the original channel. It was before we ever went live. So then we did the stream. I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's how this works. I know. Try refreshing the stream. It may work that way. I'm not going to cancel the stream outright. We got a lot of people. Let's see. How many people are watching? Yeah, fuck it. It doesn't matter. I'm having a good time. But sorry to go on about the comic. It is exciting. It's something I work with every day. And oh, there it goes. Logan Michael says pop gay. Well, thank you very much, Logan Michael. The first, you know what? It's official. The first Good Morning Pop Culture super chat goes to you on the official channel. So there we go. Boom. Oh, Cesario Japan did not get beat. He goes forced. There we go. Graham Rigg, thank you very much. And Andras Takas says testing for money. Well, thank you guys for sending that in. That's awesome. I can use that for more coffee. I did go out and get coffee this morning. I wasn't feeling like my normal. What the hell do I drink? Keurig shit. Anyway, let's move on from this Star Wars guy. I know you guys are looking at him going, I don't care. He's kind of weird looking. Oh, speaking of weird looking, I don't know if everybody got to catch the High Council last night. It's late. It's a late show. We went super long. By the way, thanks for everyone who stuck with us. But here you go. Take a look at that weird thing that they try to pass off as Luke Skywalker. How's that? So that is an action figure. That is an action figure from Hasbro, and it does not look too not too good. No, he did not give $200 or $400. I'd be like, wow, what a start. No, no matter the amount, I still appreciate it, guys. I'm not a greedy man. So we've been talking about Captain Marvel and Avengers and all this stuff for a while, and now we know a date when the Avengers tickets go on sale. So this isn't a commercial. I have no interest in if you guys go see this movie on day one. We'll be talking about it, and that's going to be a big deal for us personally. But the Avengers Endgame tickets go on sale on the 2nd of April. So if you're out there looking to pre-order your tickets and you're looking to be one of the first people to see it, just know that those tickets will go fast, no matter how ridiculously boring Captain Marvel was at times. The Avengers is still going to make tons of money, and we're still looking forward to it here on the channel. Expect, what is that, 2 episodes after Celebration to be an Avengers live stream. But, it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh my God, people do not like the Luke Skywalker toy. Well, the thing is, the actual toy, let's look at that again real quick. The actual toy doesn't look terrible. I don't know what to say. Let's unzoom. Okay, it's really not much better. Why do a lot of Luke Skywalker, or excuse me, why does Luke Skywalker merchandise make him look effeminate? I'm not saying Mark Hamill's the bastion of masculinity that some people think, but he's definitely not, girly. Maybe his hair was a little long, but it was the 70s. Jake Soywalker Jr. Yeah, that'd be, it does kind of look like Jeremy. If Jeremy was an action figure, this would be him. Maybe you guys should take any customizers out there. We could get one of these and we could make it Jeremy. Put a little Star Wars hat, come at you with another video, and today you get your own action figure. Speaking of stuff made about yourself, I got to show you guys something. Excuse me, I have to show you guys something that you're going to love. I feel like the beginning of this is just trying to catch you up on those who might have missed the High Council last night with Robot Head, which, what a phenomenal show. What a cool dude. We talked to him before and after the show. He's nice, like just a cool dude. It was nice to have somebody on to discuss Star Wars with that we haven't talked to yet. And like I said last night, I'm going to have him and Mahler on. We're going to talk about the Avengers in April. We'll get the 3 of us. Obviously, Ethan and Jeremy are always invited to come hang out and get involved in the discussion. But, we're going to put the world in world-class bullshitters. Mahler, straight out of the UK, which this Article 13 stuff is scary. I've been watching a lot of videos to try to catch up because, we do have a lot of international listeners, and it would suck if stuff got cut out. Let's see. Teaching a live stream about last week. Hey, Missy Jeff, I'm teaching a live stream about last week. I don't understand that reference. I'm sorry. How about Pie Council action figures? If anyone out there wants to make action figures based on the Pie Council, I would love to see that happen. We will endorse them fully. I'm trying to show this one. For some reason, I can't view the image itself. I'm trying to show the Pie Council poster from last night. And if you're coming out to Celebration, Ethan and I are trying to, let's see, there we go. We're trying to get this in high resolution so we can print this and sign it for you guys. I know a lot of people will freak out because, this is fun. This is awesome. We're reaching that point. Just think, the High Council is just about a year old. Next month will be 1 year old because roughly around this time last year, I got a message from Ethan that he agreed to be on the show, and it was amazing. And now we're here. We got all this stuff, all of the listeners. It's a big community and its own thing. So if you guys haven't seen this, obviously I'm the Andre the Giant character. And then there's Ethan, Jeremy, and Cecil. And then we have a cook and a meatball. Oh God, the guy's name escapes me, but the dude did awesome work. And we love fan art. We had a guy named Curtis who used to draw the World Class Bullshitters. And I wish he would have mailed us some of that original art. He sent us digital files, obviously, of the stuff. But we never heard back about getting it because I would have bought it from him and displayed it here in the office. That would have been a lot of fun for me. I love fan art. I just love art in general. Somebody sent me a Rose Tico drawing, and I put that in my letterbox. I know Liquor Jim sends the postcards, and I put those in the letterbox too. Speaking of Liquor Jim, he sent a super chat that says, "Welcome back and good morning, pop culture. Very much looking forward to stealing solo. Any updates on a merch store? I need a new coffee mug." Yeah, that is happening. I have taken more steps in that direction. I wish I had more time in the day. It is a one-man operation for most of the stuff, but I've made steps in the right direction. And I've actually made a list of the things that you're going to get. So coffee mugs will be on them, shirts, a couple other things. I'm working out an idea in my head about a couple things too. Like somebody requested a certain style Fandom Menace shirt, which I'm going to offer as soon as we launch the store. But Liquor Jim, I'm glad you're looking forward to stealing solo. It's weird. Like looking back, I'll look back at all the pages. Like every time I send a batch off to the colorist, I'll go back and look at everything. And it's just like, cool, man. I've never drawn something that's this sprawling. And it makes me laugh. And I'm hoping you guys will laugh too. When you guys get your books, just tag me on Twitter and let me know what you think. I'm dying to let you see. I'm just dying to hear what you think of certain parts of the story. There's some twists in there that I'll never spoil, but I'm looking forward to knowing what you guys think. Logan Michael says, thoughts on Mattel's Secret Wars? Oh, dude, yes, I love to talk about toys. By the way, that collector hangout will happen on the main channel and then be archived here. Logan Michael, it was before my time. I was born in 88, so 84 was the Secret Wars. I respect the toys for what they were. That was the first Wolverine figure. I think it might have been the first Daredevil figure. It has its charm, but for me, the Spider-Man and the Captain America are just unforgivable. First off, when you think of Captain America, yes, you think of the red, white, and blue. You think of the stars and stripes, but you also think of his shield. What does Captain America's figure not come in the Secret Wars with? A shield. You get this weird lenticular Doctor Doom, Steve Rogers shield thing. No Captain America's shield. So that's weird. And then Spider-Man has the laziest paint job in history. That's all I can say. They painted half the webs. It's like the cartoon series from the 60s. He's got webs on his face and his hands and his feet, but nothing on his chest and back. See, I like the Spider-Man show. It's very campy and hokey. If it had webbing across the whole costume, I might find myself watching it more. But if I'm being honest, the lack of a webbing is kind of the reason why I don't watch it very much. Kind of a weird reason, but whatever. But I'm about those toys. They're cool. I mean, that's about it, Logan Michael. I don't own any of them. I know Retro Blasting has a great video about all that stuff. Yeah, the third wave was hard to find. I think there was a European figure that was released, but never here in America. I'd love to. Maybe one day I'll get them for the collection if I do everything Marvel, which would, God, that'd be too much money. That's why I stick with Beverly Hills Cop, folks. I can afford that, and it's almost completed. Trent, I don't know when the hangout is, but if you're free tonight, we're trying to do a View to a Kill, and you're a patron, and that's your request. So there we go. Jeff, my relatives in Italy, said they caught a Spider-Man Homecoming 2 shoot in Venice, Italy recently. Oh, that's kind of cool. Every time somebody says Venice, I think of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Ah, Venice. I'd like to go to Italy. That's top 5 places in the world I want to visit soon, especially after watching the damn Sopranos. I watched every episode of The Sopranos, in about a month and a half when I was working on the pages The Sopranos was on. And Ethan suggested I watch it. Really good show. It started out amazing. It ended kind of and in the middle it got a little soft, much like Tony Soprano himself. But it was a fun show, and I do recommend it. I know Jeremy got something sent to the P.O. box, that whole box set. I think he's going to like it. Those people eat all the time in that show. It's either eating, drinking, or sex, which I'm not complaining about, but it's like every episode it's going to, what are they going to have for dinner tonight? I found myself wondering that, a lot. The Spider-Man cartoon from the 60s is better than the Captain Marvel movie. Well, yeah, I agree with that. Captain Marvel is the most unoriginal and forgettable MCU flick. Like, people go, oh, the Incredible Hulk. I like the Incredible Hulk more than Captain Marvel. I would watch the Incredible Hulk 10 times, 20 times before I'd want to watch Captain Marvel again, because Captain Marvel adds nothing to the lore. Am I still down for a fanboys watch party? Of course I am. For those who have been patient with the live streams, yes, I am thankful that you guys have waited, but we'll do fanboys. We'll do all of this stuff. But remember, I love watching movies. I love doing all these things. I'll gladly do those. So if you guys want to get involved, Commander Cody, you know how to contact me. We'll make that happen. Benobi is watching The Sopranos right now, too. It's on Amazon, folks, so if you don't want to go out and buy it, I mean, if you have Prime, why not? Go ahead and watch it. I watched a movie called Men at Work. Pretty funny, too. Kendo recommended it. Comanche Viper, all you got to do is shoot me an email with your contact information, and I'll send you one out. I know a couple were printed as duplicates, so a couple of those may have not happened, but I got them right here. I'm holding one. That's what that is right there. It's one in the envelope. So all I got to do is shoot me an email, and I will drop that in the P.O. box, not the P.O. box, and the mailbox today. Men at Work, that is a good movie. Let's see. Thoughts on Zack Snyder calling out fanboys about Batman killing in his movie? Well, Zack Snyder has way more problems than just Batman killing in his movies. Believe me. First off, at times they're visually stunning. At times they're visually repressed. Zack Snyder's Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice is embarrassing. And I can talk about it. Here's the thing. Much like I can critique The Last Jedi for hours, or The Force Awakens, and all these movies, and not even mention gender or identity politics, I can talk about how much I dislike BVS without even mentioning Batman kills. I feel like there's two paths to the criticism. Either you can take the fan route, which does include that, which I'm completely fine with. I put it like this. If you have a complaint about something, it's still valid, within reason. If you say, well, Batman suits the wrong shade of gray, then that gets to a territory where I'm like, who gives a shit? But the killing thing, that's a pillar of Batman's character. Yes, it was established a little later on after he was created by Bill Finger and Bob Kane. I give Bill Finger top billing because Bill Finger did so much work. But back to the film, though, the actual question you wanted to know. Batman was... he killed in all the other movies for the most part. And I'm not justifying Zack Snyder's stance, but I think his Batman... Zack Snyder was in love with Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns too much. And I love that story. I think that would be my third favorite Batman story. I think I'm going to go with Hush as number one because I'm a huge Jim Lee mark. Second, I'm going to go with Batman Year One. Frank Miller did work on that. Plus, David Mazzucchelli's artwork is awesome. And then we got, I think I'll go with Dark Knight Returns in terms of stories. But that's like an Elseworld. It's a alternate future. I like what they did with some of the stuff. But Zack Snyder really doesn't need to call people out. Zack Snyder hasn't made a critic-proof film, or it doesn't even worry about critic-proof films. Zack Snyder hasn't made a film that's 100% competent, at least in my opinion. I like Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, I do think the original is a better movie. There are certain elements I like of the remake, especially the guy across the street where they would hold up the signs and play chess with. There are some great moments in that movie. His Watchmen, I'm not the right guy to talk about that always. Yes, I've read the book. I'm looking at my copy right now. It's kind of hanging out of the shelf. And I've seen the movie a dozen times, maybe more. I used to really love Watchmen as a film. But see, some of the stuff that I think Zack Snyder has done well doesn't require any of his own creative input outside of some visuals. I mean, the guy started directing car commercials and stuff like that. Cool. Look at where he's made it. But my point is, the stuff I just listed was made great by someone else. And he took Batman and Superman. See, to me, the biggest problem is what he did with Superman. I would never call myself the world's biggest Superman fan, but I've seen all the movies. A new Superman film will get me to go out in theaters. I went out to my local comic book store to pick up Action Comics 1000. I'm going back to pick up Detective Comics 1000 today. And I like the character, but I think what he's done to Superman is worse than Batman doing some more overt killing. But I don't like the movie either way. I think Justice League is okay. It's not the best of the DCEU, but it's not Suicide Squad either. And how much do we credit to Zack Snyder? How much do we credit to Joss Whedon? How much do we credit to the behind-the-scenes situation? I don't know. But I don't think it's smart, especially in this day and age, to ever call out a fan, your fans. Rian Johnson and a lot of people over in Star Wars camp have learned that the hard way, because all you're doing is pissing people off exponentially. Zack Snyder, I think a lot of people, everyone can sympathize with what he went through with his daughter and stuff like that. That's never been a joking topic. But I don't think you should come out now and start causing problems. I mean, look, as a message directly to Zack Snyder, your era of the DCEU is over. You have nothing else to add. There's nothing new to say. We've all moved on. Aquaman is removed from you. Shazam. If you would have told me that Shazam and BVS inhabit the same universe, which they do, it's in the movie, I wouldn't have believed you until I saw the movie and then the direction we're taking with Aquaman. I try to stay optimistic about a lot of stuff, and in terms of DC, I am optimistic. I loved Aquaman. I loved Shazam. Wonder Woman was awesome, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I heard that it's supposed to be like a James Bond franchise where they're not really direct sequels, they're just new stories with Wonder Woman, which is cool. I think Gal Gadot, obviously, she's very beautiful. 2, she's talented and charismatic. And 3, she seems like a good person. And I know this sounds hokey, but if these people are cool, I'm going to, go support them. Maybe there's some actors that aren't that great, but if they're good people, I'll give them a shot. So I know that was a little long to talk about Zack Snyder stuff, but that's how I feel. I'm not necessarily, when I saw that movie, my complaints weren't just Batman killed. Like Jesse Eisenberg was a complaint. I didn't like that Batman was branding people. I thought that was stupid. I do have complaints and criticisms, and I'm not the biggest fan of the suit. I love the idea of the gray costume. I feel that the cowl makes Batman look too much like a cat the other suit's called the Panther, so I can't say that. We've seen better costumes. Since we've met, I know we got some action figure collectors. I've picked up this thing called a Mafex Dark Knight Trilogy Christian Bale action figure. They're originally $80. I got one for $50 around Christmas as a gift to myself, and it's the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises costume. And I know this sounds weird, but I held it, and I kind of missed the Nolan era just a lot more. I was like, man, we're only, we're now 7 years, but we're 7 years removed from the Dark Knight Rises. And we had a Batman high, 08 to 2012, really, Batman was the superhero in the public eye. And it's surprising how quick, thanks to one, the Avengers, and 2, the direction of Zack Snyder, that the Batman franchise has kind of just become, tertiary. The same thing can be said about Spider-Man. Now, I know a lot of people are talking about Far From Home, and that's fine. Remember, folks, just because I don't like something doesn't mean you can't. And the opposite's true as well. That's how we have this discussion on Good Morning Pop Culture. But with Spider-Man, again, from 02 to 07, that was the franchise. Batman kind of came in 08 and changed the whole public perception of what a superhero movie should be. And I won't say could be, what should be, because remember, we spent between 08 and 2016, people were trying to do that dark and gritty, and the Avengers came in, and then everyone tried to do the shared universe, which, fine. I like shared universes when done well. I think you can have a Kick-Ass that blends comedy and grittiness, and I really love the first Kick-Ass. Second one, I would watch a third one if I don't think Dave, was it Lazowski or Lewinsky or whatever, is in the third story in the book, but I've already kind of bought into him. So if you bring him back, I will go see a third Kick-Ass, even if it's an original concept. Like Kingsman. I believe Kingsman was copywritten as a comic, then turned into a movie, and then the book came out afterwards. Don't hold me to it, but I think Kingsman, both of those are fantastic. One of the few comic book franchises that I still have, hey, they haven't made a bad movie yet. Let's see. Where are we at? That's fine if you don't like Aquaman. I liked Aquaman a lot. I had a lot of fun with it. Jonathan Hurst, thank you very much. It's weird, man. When you send in postcards and stuff, it's like you are like so close. I took my was it not the PSAT? You took the ACT. I took my ACT test at a high school by you. So I mean, we're like in the same neighborhood essentially. It's so weird. But he says, Jeff, glad to hear you liked Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes cartoon. Love that one. It's a damn shame they canceled it. It is a damn shame they canceled it. Dude, let me put it like this. So that was out in what, 2010 and 2011, I think. So Joel used to live down the street from me, and I would go over there because we haven't had cable in this house in well over a decade. We have internet, but I don't really feel the need to watch TV. So I would go to Joel's, and some days we'd get Chipotle, comic books, and then watch Doctor Who. And then usually when we worked through Doctor Who, we would watch his DVR'd Avengers cartoon. And I've seen a good chunk of those episodes. I actually just got the entire series. So I was going to watch them the other night, but I had work to do. What I am going to do is before the Avengers Endgame comes out, I'm going to marathon the entire series. I think I'll bring it with me to Chicago and try to watch it at night in the hotel room, because I can't party every night in Chicago, or else I won't make it to the show every day, which would suck for me because I paid. I want to go. I'm looking forward to the convention to meet people and just hang out. I'm gonna keep my wallet away so I don't buy all the toys in sight. Because I'm like, oh my god, they got a Han Solo on sale. Ooh, gotta buy it. But sorry, back to that cartoon though. Seriously, folks, if you want some of the best storytelling in a cartoon, I would put Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes top 4 cartoons based on a superhero property. Number 1 is Batman the Animated Series. Number 2, Spectacular Spider-Man. Now, 3 and 4 are hard to rank because it's either X-Men or Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And the thing is, I love X-Men. Maybe nostalgia's taken over a little bit. The first 2 or 3 seasons are watertight. But then when you get to season 4, I think they changed the theme song. It gets a little different. And then season 5, they changed the art, and it is just bad. Avengers, the quality stays the same. The voice acting's great. Everything's great. It's one of those cartoons that I believe is drawn by hand but colored in a computer, and the art style does not betray the legacy of the characters. The part that pissed me off with Disney purchasing Marvel stuff is, the movies, with the exception of Captain Marvel, haven't really missed a beat. They've gotten better, honestly. I don't think that has anything to do with Disney. I think Disney's kind of just let Kevin Feige, he had the best elevator pitch ever with his master plan. But I think they haven't affected the movies, but they canceled Spectacular Spider-Man. They canceled Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. They replaced them with Disney equivalents, and they're shit. If you like them, cool. I don't, and I've watched them. I haven't watched little snippets and given my opinion. I tried to watch Ultimate Spider-Man because at first I thought, man, this artwork looks awesome. I even have the Ultimate Spider-Man figure. They released a toy line. It was aimed at 5 or 6 year olds, but there was this one called Super Articulated Spider-Man. And normally those figures are $20, but this one was like $8, and it had all the articulation and all the paint. I'm like, how is this is classified as a small kid's toy? Great toy. Cartoon, no, doesn't match the toy. But yeah, that Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon, dude, I could watch that all the time. I might today. Shit, I got my next video, and I might pop that on at lunch. Obi-Wan 27883, I agree with your assessment about Aquaman being fun and popcorny, and Captain Marvel about a 5 out of 10. Let's see. Swig of coffee for the, Good Morning Pop Culture, man. There you go. That works. I stole Jeremy's stuff. Where are we at in the chat? Hey, Jeff, Jesse's Lex is based on Superman Birthright. It was accurate, and he was pretty good depicting him. Now, Metalhead Zachy, I thought he was trying to be a Kmart Zuckerberg. And I just don't like... I like Jesse Eisenberg in some stuff, but not as Lex Luthor. I get that the DCEU is trying to do something different, but there's a reason these characters remain iconic. And even if you don't take the I'll get you next time Superman Lex Luthor in the purple and green costume, at least look at the DCAU, the DC Animated Universe, which is what it was coined well before the DCEU existed. The animated Lex Luthor, voiced by Clancy Brown, that was the perfect dynamic. I know it sounds lazy, but if you were to just adapt those cartoons into live-action films and you get the right cast early on, you could really hook people forever. You start with Batman, you work into Superman, then you introduce the Justice League, then you can do spin-offs, and then when you're ready to end it, you do Batman Beyond. You do I would even see a Static Shock movie if I knew that the people behind it from the cartoon were making the movie. Because I used to watch that show every day. It was named Virgil Hawkins, I believe. I remember that's when when that comic book came out for the New 52. DC launched not 52 titles in 1 week, but they had some big launch. And I remember I picked up Batman and Superman and all the other, and the Green Lantern and the Flash and all the big titles. But I also picked up Static Shock. And that was the first time I picked up a comic book and went, this writing is oddly stereotypical, and I never picked up another issue. Virgil's family became stereotypes, and I was like, oh, this is not written well. So I think they ripped off a scene from Friday where, the mom's making this big breakfast, and Craig's like, where's mine? She's like, there's cereal, and they're out of milk or something. They pulled some shit like that, and I was just like, this isn't well made. So I kind of stopped. Justice League was pretty good. There are always two parts. Oh, Justice League's a fantastic cartoon. Justice League would close out my top 5. Oh, is it better than X-Men? Oh, man, that's tough. If I'm being honest with myself, I have to think about it. I think X-Men would be 5 of my top 5. Oh, damn it. I wish you guys wouldn't have brought that one up. Now, I own that on Blu-ray, and I have the DC streaming service. And by the way, folks, on the 30th of the month is a free trial of the DC streaming service. So if you guys are fans and you want to check it out, I bought it to review here on Good Morning Pop Culture. It is barely used by me, but I think you guys would enjoy it for free. So check it out. Stealing Hamill, a Batman detective story. Oh man, I love Mark Hamill. I'm not a fan of the New 52 either. Yeah, Dwayne McDuffie did pass away. I was a fan of him. What was the name of that? It was like an all-black studio that produced comic books, and Static Shock, I believe, was one of them. You see, it's funny how we get all this stuff in the media, like social media and these writers and these websites that want to talk about, diversity, this and that. When we had these big diverse things decades ago, hell, Image Comics was fairly diverse. I know everyone thinks of Todd McFarlane and the like, but you had Jim Lee, you had Will Portacio, you had older, you had younger, you had people from different parts of the world. You may not have had a black dude in Image Comics in the beginning, but it was still a pretty diverse thing. And then I think it was, oh God, what's the name of their damn comics? I don't know what it was called, but they had their own imprint, and that's why I think a lot of people kind of roll their eyes when people scream, I want diverse this. It's like, it's been that way. All you got to do is read it. There's a reason the big characters are the big characters. It's not because white people, hoard them. I'm not white. I fucking love Spiderman and Batman and Han Solo and all my favorite characters. It doesn't matter what color they are. Axel Foley, Tubbs from Miami Vice. It just depends. The Rock. You just have to, find good characters, and the skin color is secondary to them. But I guess that's me, trying to talk about, how to write a good story. Excuse me. I didn't make Stealing Solo and go, oh, we have to have a more diverse crew of guys just based on us. And it was funny too. A really awesome filmmaker came by the table, and he's got IMDb credits and made multiple films. And Nick got up past his screening and loved it. And the guy was laughing because he's an Indian dude. And he was like, wow, look at this. And he's just talking about, the diversity of the show. And he's like, you guys didn't even plan it, did you? I go, no, we're just real life best friends. That kind of stuff just worked out great. Frank, I do like the 2003 Spider-Man animated series as well. I remember coming home from Terminator 3 at the drive-in. And I think I think it was Terminator 3 and Charlie's Angels. Ugh, I know, shitty double feature. Charlie's Angels 2 Full Throttle. And then I came home and I saw that on TV, and I thought that was a great cartoon at the time. Milestone Comics. There we go. Jesse Milestone Comics. How can I forget that? Benobi, I'm glad you guys are enjoying Good Morning Pop Culture. Just to relax. Like I said at the beginning, this is not going to be an everyday thing. I can't do it right now, but because we hit 1,000 1,000 thumbs up on the High Council last night, there we go. I made it happen. So I'm having a good time. I hope you guys are enjoying just kind of kicking back and I know you're working and lurking. That's the catchphrase we use. That'll be the mug. I'm torn. So our listener in one of our PO box videos. By the way, I hope you guys like those. I'm going to make another one soon. We go to the PO box. I might go today. Yeah, I might go down there today. And we got a Good Morning Pop Culture mug. And like I said in the video, I refuse to drink out of it because it's so nice. It's got the DeLorean from Part 2, the Michael Keaton bat symbol, Webb's, our logo, Han Solo. It is awesome. One, that somebody likes the show enough to send us something, and two, that they made me that. So I will stick to my crappy paper cups for coffee and let that thing remain pristine. But I will get you guys mugs, good mugs, big mugs, because, people drink a lot of coffee. Sometimes your work is stressful, or sometimes you got to get up super early and you're just not with it. So you can put coffee, you can Irish it up, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. But I'm going to give you guys GMPC mugs. That'll be on the store. I bought the domain, everything's set in that regards. I just need to, get the initial shipment in and take care of that, because I've run a t-shirt shop in the past, Incarnate Studios. If you go back and listen to the old episodes, so I wanted to be an artist, and now I am. But I was like, I need to make money, so I started doing t-shirts, and it slowly picked up. And then the first Christmas I had was actually really good because I bought Google ads, and I was like, holy shit! And then it kind of slowed down, which is fine. Stuff happens. And then the podcast took off, and now we're here. So it's time to integrate both of those things. And our shirts will be made in-house, and you'll get, double-sided shirts, stuff like that. Can't tell you too much. It's going to be exciting, because if I tell you this, you're going to be like, I'm ready now. Be ready. Like I said, it'll be here sooner than you think. I didn't touch your drum set, Michael, because your drum set's a guy, and you know the rest. What's on the breakfast menu for GMPC today? I'm just drinking black coffee, man. Black coffee. Oh, okay. Jonathan Hurst sent it. There we go. Dude, yeah, that is my favorite thing. Seriously, man. Let's see. People like the P.O. Box videos. Awesome. I love doing them. They're fun. I'll give you an honest answer, too. It's great because you open it up, you edit it together, and that's it. When I do get out of this house, I'm going to get a nice little studio built around a room so I can do all kinds of unboxing videos for the channel, stuff like that. So just keep watching them, and we'll move to that, and it'll be a lot of fun. Cesare Japan, thank you very much. Speaking of DC, heard about the drive to remove Amber Heard as Mira from Aquaman due to the new accusations of domestic violence against her? I have not heard about that. I remember the story, and you heard us joke about this, that, Johnny Depp and her broke up. She went to Elon Musk, and the public story was that he was the problem. And now this information comes out that she's the guilty, not the guilty one. She's accused, the alleged abuse. We have to protect ourselves. I don't condone anything she's done. I don't think it's funny or good. But at the same time, I don't think you can really remove. I mean, it would be weird. Whatever happens in court, you got to stand behind. Like with Chris Hardwick. I've never liked Chris Hardwick, and you think, oh well, you hate Chris Hardwick. I'm sure you're happy what's happening to him. I was not. And when the truth came out and everything was resolved, he got his job back. And that's how it should be. Innocent until proven guilty. Based on that, I don't want, she was good as Mira. Yeah, she was hot. I liked that part, and I liked her. Can you replace her? You could, and I don't think you'd miss a beat. You could replace her with Scarlett Johansson and get a better acting job, an equally hot woman. But I'm not cool with what she's doing. Johnny Depp's kind of a weird guy as it is. He's from Kentucky, so take that how you will. But I don't like the idea of, couples beating each other up. Either way, male, woman, woman, man, just not cool. I hope. I like the dynamic we have. I hope that does not ruin Aquaman. I really did like it. Was it the best movie I've ever seen? Fuck no. Was it the best DCEU film I've seen? Fuck yeah. I had so much fun with it. And it was weird. I walked out of the movie. And that was another thing too. I haven't really reviewed. Did I review it on? Yeah, I did, on Good Morning Pop Culture's last episode on the channel. I haven't walked out of many DC flicks as happy as I did with Aquaman. I mean, Jason Momoa did a good job. I loved the story between his mom and dad, how she came back at the end, even though he went to the pier every day. She came back. It was cool. I just liked how it tied up. And if we never get another Aquaman movie, I will be okay with that because the first one was awesome. And but I do like the setup for the second one. I thought Black Manta was good. One of our listeners made a valid point about a criticism because of his dad said about his grandpa was in World War II or something, and how it doesn't match up with history. I'm all about calling that shit out, but overall I liked it. I hope a domestic abuse thing doesn't derail the whole franchise. Can I mount the camera back further in the PO box videos? I could. I was just trying to get the entire table. I do need to figure out a better setup for that. I need to get myself like a nice white screen and something else. If you guys have any ideas for links on Amazon, just shoot me one and I will. I'll buy what I need to buy. I really want to get lights. I just don't have the space. I mean, I'm living out of the boxes you guys send right now. I spent the other day taking everything we've received, consolidating it into different boxes, and then putting those in different parts of the house so I can have them. Because like our buddy Salvador, I got his like right here. If I just reach over, here's his he sent the Han Solo in like a nice little acrylic case. I'm thankful everybody sends me stuff. I just got to find a place for it all. But I will try to do a better setup. I actually had an idea, but I'd have to move this TV. I'll figure it out, Obi-Wan. I'll figure it out. Let's see. Am I going to beat EVS shipping the books? I don't know what EVS's timetable is. Like you guys, I backed EVS's Cyberfrog. EVS backed Stealing Solo. I tried to back all the first wave Comicsgate books just out of support. A lot of people did that for me too, and I'm thankful. But I just wanted to, do my part because I believe in independent comics being the thing. I might beat him. Who knows? I have okay. So the big delay with me was the colorist, and I've publicly announced this. The first guy that you've seen his work was great. I liked the guy. Very easy to work with. Great rates, everything like that. And then I started getting less and less pages back, and it got to a point where it's like, oh. I found out he worked for DC and other publishers, and he wasn't able to keep doing my work. He's like, well, just wait for me. I promise I'll be able to do it. And I thought, okay, I'll give him 2 weeks. And then I didn't hear back, and I messaged him, and I didn't hear back. And in the interest of fairness, everything I paid for, I got back. I never got screwed. Everything was legit, so I can never say an unprofessional word about him. But there was this gap where I didn't hear anything. So I auditioned quite a few colorists. I paid for multiple samples to match what we received, and I got back stuff. And you guys have seen pages from the old colors, the new colors. You don't even know which what. That's how good this new person is. So they're a lot faster too. So they're trying to play catch up. There's a little backlog of stuff. I don't know Ethan's timetable, but I have a printer lined up that is here in Ohio. So he has a 2-day turnaround on a sample. As soon as I get the sample, I'm going to drive to him and just pick up my books and cut out the middleman of shipping, 1,400 comics. And then I'm going to assemble the little boxes that the people that bought the higher tier books and the prints. And then I'm going to, luckily, legally, since the book is so big, it counts as a novel, not a comic book because it does not have advertisements. So I can ship it out and it'll go quicker to you guys. So I may beat EVS. Who the hell is messaging me right now? I may be Ethan. Who knows? All right, Trent. If you're available, if you're still in the chat, man, we're doing a view to a kill tonight because the guys gave the thumbs up. So if you're out there, Trent, you need to. You're my Facebook friend. Just shoot me a message, buddy. Yeah, Billy Ritchie. I feel the same way. Let's see. Let's see where we at. My thoughts on Itapukuyan, by the way, man, shout out to you. We're Facebook friends. Cool dude. I like the stuff you post. I'm going to go to the P.O. Box today. I'm sure it's there now. And I'm going to put up the video. I might film it. I got the video for Monday planned out. And I got some other stuff planned. I will make sure I open it and film it before WrestleMania. Don't worry. I hope, people are excited for that WrestleMania. I'm not, but whatever. I'm going. First world problem. My thoughts on Justice League versus the Fatal Five. I don't have any thoughts because I don't know. Is that a DC animated feature? Is that the one where they bring back like Kevin Conroy and all those people? If that's it, I'll watch it. That's all I know off the top of my head, guys. That's all I know. They replaced Rachel Dawes in the Nolan trilogy. Yeah. People want to joke that they replaced Down. I think Maggie Gyllenhaal's a better actress than Katie Holmes, but I prefer Katie Holmes because she was there first. That's one nice thing about other franchises, especially Marvel, with the exception of Rhodey. They've kept everybody, right? Well, no. The guy from Thor, is it Farwig or Fezwig, or the guy with the rapier, the little pointy sword? Let's see. Have I seen a film called Brainstorm? It had Christopher Walken in it. I have not, but I'm always open to watch new movies. Spartan Jeremy, don't worry, my friend. You'll definitely, like I said, I'm almost done with my portion of it. Luckily, I got a couple people here that are going to help me process all the shipping and get it out to you guys. I would never cause any issues with Stealing Solo in that regards because I want to do more books. And if I let you guys down, then I couldn't do more books. Plus, remember, this is a lifelong dream of mine. Ethan, seasoned pro, 26 years, countless issues under his belt. Me, this is technically my first published work. I don't want to drop the ball. Plus, you guys were going to love the story, so I want to make sure that everybody gets it. Trust me. We'll have plenty of backups to. We won't even need them. I'll make sure I get everything out, and we'll be good to go. I know some things get lost in the mail and destroyed, and some things take a long time, but we'll be covered. Everyone will get their book, and thank you to everybody. Let's see. Make a bet with EVS who will ship first and sabotage him by sending a ton of mail order pies. I think EVS has an off-site shipping person, like a professional company. He just sends off his pages, they get colored, lettered, and everything else goes to them. Me, we're all in-house. I'm hiring local guys. I got a buddy, Dave, who has done some comic work, and I was like, can you letter this for me? And he goes, yeah, and he's going to letter it and format it. So we're like the indie publisher of Comicsgate. We don't have any professional anybody. But hey, a good story and good art are fine. We'll be fine there. But thank you, Spartan Jeremy. Obi-Wan 2783. I've not had a chance to watch Lord of the Rings, but it is open and I'm looking at the box. It will be watched when I get back. Comanche Viper, you're in Kentucky too. Cool. Well, I will, like I said, email me and I'll ship it out. You probably get it by Friday at this point. Let's see. Why don't you work on how about doing a comic with EVS? We'd have to figure out. I think he's really busy. I would never be opposed to it. Put it like that. It would be kind of intimidating at first because it's Ethan, 26 years in the business. Me, I've barely been alive for 26 years. I'm only 30. So anything's possible. It's funny. I say that now. And if you would have told me 2 years ago, you're going to have a weekly show with this guy from DC Comics, I'd be like, no. Now he's, a good friend. So yeah, it's all possible. Let's see. I wonder what'll end first. Comicsgate or Identity Politics Disney? I'll put it like this on my end. If you guys keep reading the books I put out, I'll keep putting them out. I got about 10 ideas. I think you're going to love, I know you're going to love Wokebusters. It's fun. I have all the homages. We have a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man insert. There's all kinds of great stuff. And like I said, I love doing it. So you guys just keep buying the books and we will keep going. I expect the next one to do even better than the first one. And I got a lot of awesome perks planned for that one as well. Dan Vinoy, thank you very much. Welcome back. Jeff, have you seen Wolf's video on Aquaman? I haven't, but I've heard about it through Jeremy. I think Jeremy was called out in it. I'm a big fan of Wolf and Mahler. I wanted to get to know Rags because he was hilarious on ETHAP. I had a great time on that, by the way. But as a YouTuber, you either have a lot of free time or sometimes you're like me where you have no free time and so you don't watch a lot of content. So I definitely I haven't seen his video, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Professor Geek's Tales from the Stacks looks great, Jeff. You should check out the campaign on Indiegogo if you haven't already. It's kind of in the vein of Tales from the Crypt. Not to contradict myself, but I do watch Professor Geek's videos, and or I have seen his latest one with that promotion. I'm gonna back that. We got a couple Indiegogos from listeners that have been inspired by Stealing Solo and stuff like that I want everyone to check out too. But I will check out Professor Geek's Tales from the Stacks. I'm all about anthology comics. You know what? I got an idea. Well, the idea started here on Good Morning Pop Culture, aka World Class Bullshitters. We should do an anthology story with each person from Comicsgate doing like an 8 to 10 page story. That could be cool. And we just split it down we all do the same amount of pages and we all do whatever. That could be cool. That'd be a lot of fun. If you like that idea, press 1. I like that idea. Shit, I'm going to press 1 right now in the chat myself. There you go. There's my 1. Let's see. Gerhard, I'm glad you're here, man. Let me message you on Patreon, and we'll work out since Wednesdays are good for you. I can't do next Wednesday because Thursday morning early I got a flight to New York City. If you can give me till right after Celebration, we'll do your Star Wars stream and make that happen. Thank you for being patient, dude. Tim, yes. Good morning, pop culture. Because we hit 1,000 thumbs up yesterday on the High Council, it's here. So I'm giving you guys, again, full transparency. It's not an everyday thing, but I did miss it. It's funny. At first, I was like, man, do I still got it in me? It's been 4 months. I don't even think about this. Give me 10 minutes and we're back. I'm actually like, I don't even care what time it is. We'll just keep on going until I lose interest in talking. So just keep sending me shit to talk about, and I'm here. The next video comes out Monday. It's already written and mostly edited, so we're good to go. Let's see. Who will do the Jeremy comic then? I think I could make that happen. I would be willing to do a High Council comic and hold off Hulkbusters for a couple of months to make that happen. That could be a lot of fun. The High Council versus the evil NPC army, and what do? We enlist the Jer army or something crazy like that. There's something I can't talk about yet, but I'm working with somebody else in the Fandom Menace, and you guys are going to want to get involved with that. So there you go. Yeah, New York City. Yep. New York City, man. I'm going to go meet Cecil, go to WrestleMania, have breakfast at, I'm going to go eat lunch at Cat's Deli. I'm looking forward to New York. It's basically a food trip, a shopping trip, and then WrestleMania on Sunday. And it's going to be weird, too, because we're going up on Thursday, WrestleMania Sunday. We're leaving Monday morning at like 11. I'm home for a day, and then I'm back to Chicago. A. Pierce says, good morning from the Middle East. Well, what's up, dude? If you are the guy who I think you are, and I don't want to say your real name, thank you for the Batarang, if that's you. It was weird. I got part 2 first, and I looked everywhere through my car, everything. I thought I lost your letter, and I felt so bad. So I even cut it out originally. I was like, oh, I can't put this without the letter. And then I started filming the second video where I was like, oh, what's this letter? Oh, shit, the Batarang. And then I put it together, and that's how you see it in the video. But if that's you, man, I want to tell you thanks. I love that. That didn't go in that box with the action figures. That is out. And that's going to, like I told you in the video, I'm going to put a shadow box up with a nice glossy print of Michael Keaton, and we'll put that in there. So thank you very much. Let's see. Plans on live streaming with Cecil in New York. Fans would love it. Cecil has said he doesn't want it to be seen on camera, but I would be willing to take a mini tripod, face it either towards me or something else, and talk to Cecil. I just don't want to, I don't want to put Cecil in an uncomfortable position, but gladly. I know I always do what you guys, what I think would entertain you the most, and we could have some fun. I at least want to have dinner with Cecil and shoot the shit. That dude is hilarious, and I know in real life he's going to be just as funny. So there we go. The High Council Wrestling comics to be posted on Facebook. You weren't the poster. No, Tim didn't do the poster. Somebody else did the poster. No, I did not. I'll have to look for it. Definitely. I love wrestling and I love comics, and well, I'm part of the High Council. Cool. Okay, that was you. Okay, that is you then. The other guys are happy with it. The other guys, remember, they live hundreds of miles away from me. So basically, it comes to the P.O. box. If you guys ever send anything directly towards them, I'll give it to them when I see them. Other than that, that's the best I can do. You can always contact them, and if you have something specific you want to mail them, we have an email address, worldclassbs@mail.com, and we can make that happen. Where are we at? Spoiler, proper Jeremy betrayed the GR Army. You betrayed the law. Gregory Harlow, welcome back. He says, GMPC, best part of this channel. Gregory Harlow, thank you very much. I know you guys love it. And you know how? Because when I was at Horror Hound, I think almost every person said, man, when are you bringing back Good Morning Pop Culture? I really like that. So here it is. Here it is. And with its own channel, it does not hurt the other channel's growth. So, the other channel can have 1 million subscribers. This one can have 100,000. Everybody wins. So I didn't realize how many people this was part of their daily routine. And I look back and we did it 4 to 5 days a week for 5 months almost. It really had a long run in terms of YouTube stuff for a daily show. I didn't really run out of too many things to talk about, especially today. We're just kind of like, firing on all cylinders about everything, which is weird too, because I thought I'd be so burnt out from the High Council last night. But, coffee, a donut, and like excitement will get you through anything in life. Let's see. If Cecil wears a mask, you don't mind? Okay, I'll talk to him. Like I said, I got his contact information, and that will be not this weekend, but the following weekend. So, Cecil, if you ever hear this, which you probably think you will, gonna hang out with you, bro. Jeremy is the template for the Jeremy. Jeremy is a firecracker. Is that a Step Brothers reference? It's funny, Jonathan, the image of the donut you sent, that's basically the one I ate too from Dunkin' Donuts. Coffee is the river between life and death. So coffee is what the river Styx. Do I have to pay the troll toll? That's not even that reference. I don't think the ancient Greeks wrote about the troll toll. Press F for cat denning boobs. Okay, there you go. Cecil slightly doxed himself this last live stream. He had to remove it. Ooh, yeah, that's not cool. I don't really watch the Cecil live streams, but I watch all the separate videos. Cecil, this isn't even me being nice. He's a comedic genius. If you watch some of the shit he talks about, it's like a blink and you miss it type of joke. But some of them, like if you can catch them, they are funny. Cecil deserves more YouTube subscribers. I don't know what he's got going on in his personal life, but if he could commit to doing, 2 things a week, that's the trick. You guys got to come up with a schedule and stick with it. When you stick with it, your channel grows. When you don't, it does not. And you just got to play the game a little bit. But I think Cecil's smart enough to know what people want and make it funny. Plus, he's smart on the topic. So, like, if it gets serious, the dude can just come down and scare people with his knowledge. Obi-Wan 2783, thank you very much. Party boob! And this one for Logan Michael. Funko Pops are sausage. LOL. Every time I go into a GameStop and I see a wall of Funko Pops, I think of our friend Logan Michael and how much he loves them. No, dude, I know you don't like them. I only have a few because they're the only piece of pop culture merchandise for like a Beverly Hills Cop. I'm the first one to say I'm guilty for buying it, but make me other Axel Foley shit, I'll buy it. I just, Logan Michael sent me some Axel Foley stuff in the past, and it is awesome. So thank you guys. My thoughts on Article 13 of Mortal Coil. It sucks for the users. There's no way it could pass in other parts of the world. I say that hoping, but I think with the Constitution in check, I think we'd be protected here. But I don't. Just because we may be protected doesn't mean I don't care about other people. I don't want that to be misconstrued. The internet really is the next step. It's a part of everyday life. If you could have pulled this shit off 20 years ago and nobody would have said anything or known. But because the internet has become what it is, companies live and die by it. Independent businesses like me, we live and die by it. It is paramount that thing gets changed or just thrown out completely. It serves no purpose to the consumer. So I'm not going deep into it, not because I'm afraid to talk about it, because I don't know every little detail. I can just direct you towards Dave Cullen, Computing Forever. He's got a great take on it. Hell, Jeremy's been reading up on it, so I got to give him props too. Me, I watch a couple YouTubers talk about it. Admittedly, I'm really busy trying to get ready for our shows and going out of town. But like I said, it's not cool for anybody. So there we go. Let's see. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, is getting so close. As a huge Godzilla fan, I really like how the director has been handling the movie. Cinever 653, welcome back. I am looking forward to it too. When I went and saw Shazam the other night, they had a trailer for Godzilla. And it's weird. I don't normally take my mom to movies, but I went to Captain Marvel by myself for the channel. She goes, if you're going to see a movie for your channel and no one's going with you, you can take me. And that was her nice way of asking to go to a movie. So I thought, you want to go see Shazam? I'll take you. So I took her to see Shazam. And for some reason, the Godzilla trailer scared her. She's like, what is this? I'm like, Mom, just watch. And then she goes, oh. But I'm excited. I think Godzilla is, it's off in the distance. It's May, so we're getting there closer. But it's like, it's coming. It's not like they're bombarding you like like a Marvel movie or something else. I think Shazam and Godzilla have been handled well, where they're coming out, you're getting excited, and I think the end product will be. I think it's a Warner Brothers thing. I'm not trying to shill for a company or say anything like that, but I really believe if Warner Brothers can get their shit right, they could be a decent rival to Disney. Hear me out. First off, DC characters. I know you're thinking, well, the movies have sucked. Yeah, they've been it. Warner Brothers has a huge back catalog of great DC cartoons. Warner Brothers, like Bugs Bunny, the Looney Tunes, all that stuff. They have all these great franchises that they could, bring back or do stuff with. You can hit adults, you can hit kids. They have a great back catalog. I don't want them to do a streaming service. I just want them to utilize all the tools that they have to really just keep Disney in place, because in the next video, which is about the Disney-Fox merger, I talk about creativity, and when a company buys up everything, well, once they own it, they don't have, it's just minimal effort for maximum profit, which is, it's a business. But as a fan of movies, all of us want good creative things. Just because it's a sequel doesn't make it bad. Like Godzilla, what is that, the 30th Godzilla movie? I mean, I honestly don't know. That could be the number. My point is, because they've established what they've done, and I think the 2014 one's fine. It's a good movie. I bought it on Blu-ray. I like it. It builds towards something. I think Warner Brothers should be, firing on all cylinders, Universal, and basically keep the entertainment landscape just fresh. I just don't want Disney properties every week. Because look, Dumbo opens tomorrow. There are 3 Disney animated features between now and July. Then there's a Marvel movie. There's a Spider-Man movie in July. There's just so much crap. Disney is becoming its own competition. And I don't know if that's a good thing. People think, oh, well, now that the X-Men and the Fantastic Four are together, that's great with Marvel characters. It's nice for that, but there are other implications, and I'm not going to go too deep into it. You guys got to watch the video on Monday. I know. You're like, oh, I want to hear more. Trust me, it'll be worth the wait. You guys are going to love it. But it's really imperative that other studios, like, there's no reason why a Superman movie can't be the #1 movie in the world. You just got to put out a good story. There's something there about Superman that does connect with a lot of people. It just has to be done right. Batman should be the #1 hero, but he's not. So when Ant-Man and the Wasp gets more attention than a Batman movie, you really have messed up, Warner Brothers. But there's one thing about comic book fans and all of geek culture. We are very forgiving. If you guys act humble and you put out a good product, people are always willing to forgive and move on to the next thing. So there we go. All right, thanks, Gerhard. I appreciate your patience, man. I apologize for the delay. It's been crazy here, but we'll make it happen. Am I excited for Dark Phoenix? I personally think it looks stupid and pointless. Well, Cody, I think it looks stupid and pointless too. I'm looking around. Where's my... Okay, I know this sounds odd, but I keep my Dark Phoenix trade paperback by me a lot because I'm a huge John Byrne fan. I think that's some of the best. Jim Lee is the X-Men artist that I look at and I go, oh man, I'll buy anything they make based on Jim Lee figures and stuff like that. But I looked at John Byrne as the best because his storytelling has a level of clarity that Jim Lee's can't match. Like I said, I love the Jim Lee costumes. It takes me back to being a kid and all the cartoons and shit. But John Byrne, it's just him and Terry Austin, or he and Terry Austin, they produce the best X-Men art in terms of clarity, and just it's visually stunning. Every panel looks like it could be put on a t-shirt. Like the guy never cuts corners. Everything's great. Dark Phoenix is my favorite X-Men story. The movie, I have no interest in. Sophie Turner was... I don't think there's ever been a great Jean Grey. That's why I think, like, my generation of people, unless you started out reading the book, I think Jean Grey might be a non-entity for a lot of people. Because if your first introduction to her was in the cartoon, which does, color your perception of a lot of characters, you may not like her because she was always like, Scott, oh, and would fall down. That was it. Jean Grey was kind of lame. Cyclops, Wolverine, Gambit, Rogue, Storm, all cool. Jean Grey, not so much. And then I go back and read these stories about her power, and while I love the stories, I still have that initial perception of her as kind of a weenie. So I'm not too excited because I've never seen a Jean Grey on film that has blown my mind. I like Famke Janssen. I think she's a good actress. Not great. I love her in James Bond. But we have, not seen that. So I think the movie is kind of pointless, much like New Mutants. It could be great, but it should have come out last year. I have no interest in seeing that for the channel. Both X-Men films will be watched by me eventually, but I will not be doing special live streams like we do for Marvel movies or other big event flicks. Like Godzilla's getting one. Shazam, I've already seen it, so it can't get one. But this Thursday night on the podcast, we will be talking about it. We'll compare it to Captain Marvel. We'll talk a little bit about history. I've been watching some old Shazam videos to try to give you guys some context to see how accurate it is to the books. Plus, what I thought of it as a film. And here's a spoiler in case you can't make the show. I liked it a lot. Solid film. Go see it if you have the chance as soon as possible. I think you'll all enjoy it. I know a lot of people, and me included, will say the word fun is sometimes a thin criticism to pass off whatever, but the movie has a lot of heart. It's a really great portrayal of kids. There are scenes in that movie where everybody, no matter where you come from in the world, you can relate to being those kids. Maybe you don't have a handicap like the one kid. Maybe you're not fat like the other one. Maybe you don't have abandonment issues like the little girl. But there are just social settings that everyone can relate to, and the outcome's awesome. Like, I left with a smile on my face, and I want to talk. I'm not going to ever talk about it, even on the show. But there's a cameo at the end of the movie. Holy shit. Like, it's bigger than it. It's like when Nick Fury appeared at the end of Iron Man. It's that kind of cameo. It was awesome. It was awesome. Seriously, that's not me trying to sell you on the movie. That cameo, when the movie comes out for a couple weeks, we'll talk about it. I looked over at my mom like, no way. And then, whatever. Fuck it. We're done. I'm not talking about it anymore. Let's see. Bro Paulo Creed says, Jeff, you can't stop. The woman in the cubicle next to me is typing up notes for a meeting while wearing acrylic nails and absent this podcast. I may stare with scissors. Bro Paulo Creed, take a deep breath. Exhale. And now continue to listen to the show. Folks, just relax. If you got a shitty employee or a shitty coworker, just think of Office Space. Customer account, something speaking. Please hold. And that lady just keeps saying it over and over. It's funny. The older you get, the more you can relate to Office Space. I think that movie's criminally underrated. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it, check it out. Oh, there's Holdo's Muff. Yo! Dark Phoenix looks like it'll be a copy of X-Men 3. Yeah, it does. And X-Men 3, I pine for the old Spider-Man days. And people go, well, maybe you like them because it's the only superhero movie you saw back. No, I don't mean this to sound arrogant, but I do read I've read almost every Spider-Man story in the Amazing Mainline. They captured the John Romita romantic era. That's what they were shooting for. They captured that. A lot of people don't know. They think of the Ditko or the cartoon stuff, but it really does get that down. The X-Men is not an era that I'd like to return to. The black leather suits, the the openness of the interpretation. Like, yeah, Hugh Jackman was great. He'll never be topped. Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, great. I even like James Marsden a lot. I don't know what it is about him as Cyclops, but I think he's great. But I don't want to go back and relive that era. 2006 was a dark year for superhero flicks. You had that, and you had Superman Returns, which should have been great. But see, I think Superman Returns is a lot like The Force Awakens in the regards that when you try to either capture the magic of another movie and you fail, you just make something that's not watchable. So, okay, so Alpha Terranema says we're up to 29 by Toho. 15 Showa Series, 7 Heisei Series, 6 Millennium and Shin, the TriStar 1, the anime trilogy, and now 2 from Legendary, plus Kong Skull Island. So I wasn't too off when I said 30. I was just a guess. I haven't seen all of them, Alpha Terranema, but I'd love to. I think it's Mongo Ventura. One of our listeners has been sending me these beautiful Godzilla figures. I actually got, I don't know why I'm picking it up, but I got Mechagodzilla 2004, and I love those things. See, when I was a kid, I'll never forget. I don't know if I've ever told this story. I apologize if I have. We went to Toys R Us, and there was this Godzilla, for some reason, in the mid 90s, maybe 96-ish, right before my first Star Wars Christmas. I really got into Godzilla, and we would get these toys. I think Trendmasters or somebody made them. They weren't that good, but I got this Godzilla play set, and it was like a city map, and it had these buildings and these little tanks and shit, and it was like the weirdest toy ever, but I remember loving it. And it was weird too because Godzilla had a missile that you put in his mouth to replicate his fire breath, and that's supposed to like hit a button and make the buildings fall down and hit the tanks. And you know, there was a couple Godzilla things I had that either broke or we returned them because they were missing pieces, and I never really got them back. So to get these little figures kind of takes me back to that. And it's weird. I never talk about Godzilla, much like I really don't talk about Lupin the Third or other things that I'm into, but they are part of my pop culture. I don't want to say pedigree. It sounds cool, but Godzilla. I'm a big fan, and be prepared for that. We're gonna cover those. We'll do a couple of those on Patreon the closer we get to the movie. So if you guys have recommendations for them, let me know, and we can do some live streams here because this channel is our archive as well as Good Morning Pop Culture. Orbital Layer, Jeff and Pals going to any Southern pop culture events. This year, we're just doing Star Wars Celebration and then Indianapolis Horror Hound, but obviously the channel keeps growing. If you guys have recommendations, let us know. We can do that. I should do Tidewater Comic Con. I know one of our listeners in the chat is close to that, and we could go stay with Joel, and that'd be a lot of fun. But we can do that. We're almost to 110,000 subscribers, and people, want us to show up at places. We'll buy a table and we'll show up and we'll promote the channel. I'm all about that. So there you go. Let's see, where are we out? Out of all those, only the TriStar one, Shin, and the anime trilogy in 2004 are full-on reboots, while 1985, 2000, Megarius, GMK, Mechagodzilla 22, do it Halloween style. Now, I've seen, let's see, I like Godzilla 1985. I like that costume a lot. I know more about Godzilla than I think I realized because I would just catch him. I don't know about the behind-the-scenes stuff. But I do know I've seen a good chunk of those movies. We used to rent a ton of them in the 90s. Those were so fun. Am I doing any fan meet and greets the day before Celebration? Asked Darth Tico. I don't know what's going on the Wednesday before Celebration. If that's the only day you're in Chicago, I will talk to you about it. My thing is, Jeremy's wife took care of all the hotels for us. We're 30 minutes out from the convention, but there's 6 of us, and we're all going to pile up into one car, and we're going to drive into the show each day and then stay in the city as late as we can. If you can't, it's not even a Ford thing. If you couldn't get into the show due to tickets being sold out, I will make the guys from the channel available to you to meet us and hang out after the show. Now, Friday is booked. We have our meet and greet at Patty Mac's Pub and Grill. A listener of the show has helped us work that out very kindly. He's gone above and beyond to help us with this, so thank you. But just, contact us on social media and stuff like that. Like I said, to hang out and meet us and stuff, you don't have to go into the convention because we're going to be doing shit in the convention ourselves. But I don't know anything yet, Darth Tico, about that Wednesday. Remember, I'll be driving into Chicago that day. We got to go out. We got to go to our hotel, check in, and do all that shit. So it's going to be a little cumbersome at first, but I'm more than willing to try to make stuff happen for you. Let's see. Gerhardt had the exact same Godzilla. See, I'm glad the story wasn't useless. I know people have had the same toys as me. I've had so many damn toys. I'm sure we all have similar stories. Kind of like my Wolverine whose arm fell off, which makes no sense because, adamantium and shit. Alpha also had this. Alpha Terranema. Let's see. Anything on Indy 5? Thankfully not. I hope it never gets made. Love Indiana Jones, but no more, please. No more. Jeff, the Triple H of pop culture. I'll take that. So who's going to be my Stephanie McMahon? Who has a daughter that's, I don't know. I'm not going to take her to Vegas and get her drunk and marry her, though. Put it like that. But I do like the pop culture Triple H reference. I love wrestling. You know that, even when it's terrible. Let's see. Rostico, the horrible character. Uncle, yes, you are right, Uncle Remus. Let's see. Just reached the 3-hour 15 mark on the High Council. You almost went Doomcock levels. Yeah, it was a long show, but it was worth it. It needed to happen. Mortal Coil says, I've had all 4 turtles, but never at the same time. I know I had the Ninja Turtle figures as a kid because my mom bought them for me, but I was never into them. But I was able to acquire the new ones from Target. They have these NECA exclusives. They're based on the cartoon, so they got like black paint lines to look like they're animated. And man, they're great. I love these toys. Like I haven't opened them yet. I'm saving them in the box, but they're some of the coolest Ninja Turtles ever. Trans Jimmy would be your 70-year Triple H. Damn, bro, Apollo Creed. That is harsh. Alpha Terranema says Trendmasters actually did go down because of the Godzilla 98 toy line flopping. Kind of the situation with Hasbro and Star Wars. Ugh. Thankfully, though, Hasbro does have Marvel. Now, the weird thing is, remember how, last year I'm like, oh man, the Marvel Legends figures are great. The Star Wars figures are trash. Well, this year, the Marvel Legends figures shown at Toy Fair are very exciting. But the first wave of the Avengers figures are kind of garbage. They just came out. It's Ronin, it's Captain America in his Quantum Realm suit. What's the guy? Is it Ebony Maw? The one who is like, you will die at the hands of the children of Thanos. The guy that got sucked out into space in Infinity War. And then a couple comic book characters, Living Laser, Hercules, Captain V or Mr. V or something. And then you build a Thanos in the armor. And people are really not loving the toy line. And it's kind of like a big letdown. And the weird part is, too, the toys are all based on concept art for Avengers to get them out before the movie, but they changed it. So they don't even match the movie. And people are complaining about that. The Captain America head looks off. It's going to be, it would be very disappointing if, we're all on this Avengers high and then all this shit just fell into place for it to suck. Bad toys, bad movie, this, that, and the other. I'd be very disappointed in that. And in Hasbro. Trendmasters, I don't even remember what they make. I just remember the name and the Godzilla stuff. Because I remember the commercial. One of them's like a military guy screaming into a walkie-talkie about something. And that's as far back as my memory goes with them. But they were fun at the time, and I used to love my Godzilla figure. One day I'd like to get the 70s giant Godzilla just to have. It's not like a great-looking toy, but I'd like to get one of those and some Shogun Warriors, the big ones, and just, for the collection. And then I gotta get the 18-inch Alien, and it's a snowball effect. Soon I'm going to own every toy ever made. Shit, I'll need a warehouse for that. You can call me the Steve Sansweet of all toys. If you're a Star Wars fan, you understand that reference. Let's see. Oh no, not Anobi again. Thank you, Alpha Terranema. I'm glad you understand that reference. All I want is the Thanos Build-A-Figure. Me too. I have the Infinity War 3-pack with Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Thanos. So that might be enough for me in terms of a Thanos figure, but I do like that new armor. I'm all about these Japanese import figures. I'd rather get one of those instead of 4 Marvel Legends. I mean, I'd rather get high quality and less of it than a bunch of just average crap, if that makes sense. I'm like that with food, too. It's like you can have a great steak or like, a shitty cheeseburger and like apple pie and all that. I'd rather just have just the one good steak and be on my merry way. I thought Disney would have killed Hasbro with the TLJ epidemic. Well, Benobi, the Last Jedi toys are an embarrassment. I don't know if I've ever made the video, but I found them on clearance at a clearance store. So they went from, they were $8.99 initially, then they were $1 at Kroger, and that wiped them out, and they never came back. Like, it's funny, my local toy store, or my local Kroger, they have a toy section. There's no Star Wars anymore because it doesn't sell. And people think, well, there's no movie. Guys, Star Wars has had a toy line from 78 to 85 consistently, and there weren't movies every year. And then from 95 until recently, there has been a new Star Wars wave all the time. And Star Wars toys, it's funny. People want to say, well, there's no new movie. Technically, the special editions weren't really a new movie, but from that before the special editions came out, they had the relaunch, and that was a huge success. And there were Star Wars sections at toy stores. I remember going to New York City in 98 and seeing the Star Wars section. The figures were $10 a piece back then. My mom's like, I'll buy you 2 when we get home. I'm like, okay. So she did. I got like I don't remember what I got, but my point is she's always, good on her word. But yeah, you don't really need a Star Wars movie. Like, there's no Spider-Man movie last 2 years. There's been Spider-Man. Well, that's 2017 shit. But there's always a Spider-Man wave out. It's doesn't really compute. They have not replaced my Toys R Us with anything. It's like a storage unit place. So they boarded up. They like bricked over the door, but they kept the Toys R Us sign up. So it's kind of weird. It says Toys R Us. It looks like Toys R Us, but it's not Toys R Us. I always take a glass of scotch over a 12-pack of beer any day of the week. Ooh. Yeah, Alec, we were talking about AOC's plan to destroy America. The thing is, I think, is the image still pulled up? Do I have the image pulled up? Yeah, the guy making fun of it. I'll share the image again while I talk. He used he was making fun of her New Deal, and he used this image. This is real. I saw a video. It's hilarious, though, about, he used a tauntaun. That's okay, Farty McBooger Pants. Do I think episode 9 toys might screw the toy market even further? I don't think episode 9 toys are going to be as big in terms of like the line. Like they're trying to put out a Holdo and these other figures, but some collectors are going to be like, oh, Holdo, I have to have every figure. What kid wants a purple-haired Laura Dern? Not many. But Star Wars, I was trying to say this in the High Council last night, they've definitely altered the direction that they're taking with Star Wars collectibles, because everything is now old school Star Wars focused on the older fans. And let's be honest, at this point, I know this sounds kind of weird, toys really are geared at older men. Yes, women collect toys. That's not discrediting them. But my point I'm trying to make is they put out $100 Spider-Man figures and $100 X-Men figures and $100 Star Wars figures, like little ones. And then they put out the dolls that are $220. Parents aren't buying that for their kids. You know, Dion's got a kid. He buys that kid tons of shit, but he doesn't buy him high-end stuff because the kid will break it or not care about it. So he may have 15 Batman figures, but they're also $7 a piece. The kid may have a ton of Super Mario little people, but he didn't get him the SH Figure Arts equivalent. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, kids do play with toys, but the high-end collectibles market, which is really what Toy Fair is about. I mean, NECA and Mezco, they put out $80 6-inch action figures, and they sell out instantly. You know, it's really the golden age of toy collecting. If you have the funds, you know, even if you don't have the funds, shit from the $20 level on up is excellent. Like the Marvel Legends X-Men stuff, they have improved the quality exponentially. Like this next wave that's coming out is gonna sell crazy. It's got, in one wave, it's got Gambit, it's got Jubilee, it's got Beast, it's got a Weapon X figure. That's not even the whole wave. That's 4 figures. And those toys are going to sell like crazy. They're only $20 a pop. It really is a great time to be a collector. And that's all Hasbro stuff. I don't think the episode 9 wave will kill Hasbro. But what I think it'll do is, this is just a guess because nothing's official has come out yet. Either they announce this at Star Wars Celebration, or I think it's over. If Hasbro doesn't announce that they've renewed the license because it expires in 2020, I believe that this is it for them with Star Wars. The Star Wars fan base is older. They will buy stuff if it's catered towards them. It's funny. The merchandise, which is what's going to make them tons of money, doesn't match the movie audience, because the movie audience wants young, new, fresh blood to watch Star Wars forever. But young, new, fresh blood will watch other shit and then move on. Star Wars is really the older franchise, and people will stick with it forever. Look at me. I've been watching Star Wars since 1996. I'm in that old man category at 30, so that's kind of whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is episode 9 won't kill Hasbro, because they'll move on. They'll have, like, you know, your Rey and your Finn and all those characters, but they'll pack in like, oh, here's another Darth Vader. Here's this, here's that. They want people to buy the line, because there are people that collect specific figures. The Pui, thank you very much, the Pui. Nice to see you back. Well, I'm glad to be back, folks. Like I said, I'm having a lot of fun. Joe K, no, you're not really late about Good Morning Pop Culture. This is the first one. Last night on the High Council, I said we would, if we hit 1,000 thumbs up, we'd do it. So here we are, and we're, I guess we're, halfway into the show at this point. Yeah, 96, you're a baby. I wasn't born in 96. I was born in 88, but I didn't really get into Star Wars heavily until 96, because so I don't remember my first couple Christmases, obviously, but Christmas 93 was the first Christmas I remember vividly, because I got all the Power Rangers toys. It's still the best Christmas ever. I told the story around Christmas last year because it was 25 years. Christmas 94, Power Rangers year, the Thunderzords, the Command Center. Christmas 95, final Power Rangers Christmas. I got the Ninja Megazord. I also got a lot of Super Nintendo games and Batman Forever stuff. Christmas 96 was the first Star Wars year. Millennium Falcon. I had figures. I got an X-Wing and TIE Fighter. I got all this shit. 97, AT-AT Walker, more Star Wars. I got the Hoth base. I got the Endor shield generator. Then Christmas 98 was video games. 99, more video games. 2000, more video games. You can see the trend. But I didn't stop buying Star Wars stuff until about Phantom Menace. I did not like that movie. Going back, my stance has softened a bit because there's some quality there, but it's in my bottom 6 Star Wars movies. That makes sense. Girthy Gamer Standard Definition says, I'm over Star Wars. I have the OT and that's enough. All I really need to do is watch the first Star Wars movie. I love Empire and Jedi. No knocks at them. I can just watch that first one on repeat and never need anything else. That's all. Gambit and Jubilee, literally the two worst characters of comics ever. Forget that noise. Give us a decent Taskmaster. Well, bro, Apollo Creed, Taskmaster has recently been released. So if you can look him up on eBay or Amazon, you'll find one. It's a pretty good figure. But these are based on the Jim Lee designs, all the ones I just mentioned, and that wave is going to be crazy. Even the Fwoosh, my personal favorite toy line or toy website, gave us a thumbs up when I was like, this is the wave of the year. So shout out to Robo. It's weird being such a fan of the Fwoosh. And I should try to get a crossover with him. I'd love to work with him. Robo, cool dude. Very chill, very knowledgeable. Maybe I should, dude, if I could do that for the collector hangout, holy shit. I'll start talking. Max relaxes. I'm 34 and my 700 € Lego Millennium Falcon arrived today. I bet you're smiling from ear to ear, aren't you? I think I know which one you're talking about. It comes in that big black square box and it's got like figures from each generation of Star Wars with it. Have fun. Like, I never got into the Lego thing, but I get the appeal. I have a couple Lego sets, James Bond, Back to the Future, all that stuff. Have fun though, man. Have fun. That's all I can say. Let's see. Darth Tiga says, I know Hasbro has its own booth at Celebration. I think they will keep making Star Wars toys for Disney since they have another trilogy in the works. We'll see. I think there's a rumor, and this is just a rumor, so don't buy into this like I have some insider information. But I've heard that Mattel stock has dropped, and the rumor is that Disney might buy Mattel, give them the license, and do everything in-house. And if they do, all the molds and the master stuff would go to Mattel. So they could literally make the toys and they'd match 100%, and Disney would own whatever. Now, I know that sounds crazy to some, but Toy Biz was Toy Biz and Marvel were the same thing. I believe it was Avi Arad and Ike Perlmutter. I think they bought a portion of Marvel and Toy Biz and whatever. They had basically royalty-free licenses to make the Marvel figures in the 90s. So that's why Toy Biz became what it did. And then Hasbro bought the Marvel license, and then Marvel got corporate with Disney. And in the first couple of years, it was rocky. Like if you're a toy collector, the first couple waves of Marvel Legends from Hasbro were dog shit. They canceled it. They focused on the 3.75-inch Universe line. And that was pretty shitty. And then probably about right after the first Avengers, they really started to get focused back into the collector's line. And the toys have been great ever since. Let's see where we at. Woody Buzz was born in 91. I don't remember 91. I know I was alive. Do I have Boba Fett and Slave 1? I have many a Boba Fett figure, but I do not have Slave 1. There's one I'd love to get. It comes in the vintage packaging. I think it was an Amazon exclusive. But I'm not. If it was still like the $80 that it was when it came out, I would buy it. I'm not going to drop $300 on a Star Wars toy. Alec Munoz, thank you very much for your super chat. Jeff, bring back Good Morning Pop Culture long term. No, right now I can't. This is for all the people who gave us a thumbs up on the High Council, but clearly a lot of people are excited. Like these, the messages just keep on coming in, and I know a lot of people missed it, so I can't give you guys a guarantee. I don't want to lie to you ever or make promises I can never keep. So today's today. I will have tomorrow night's the podcast, so you can listen to that. We got a video for Monday. We got a P.O. Box video planned. All kinds of stuff is coming up, so you'll keep hearing from me. I know you guys really like this one because it's like we're talking to each other. But as soon as I get back from Celebration and have all my stuff worked out, we'll see what the schedule will be with the website for the merchandise and all that stuff. And if I can make this happen at least once a week, I would definitely do that. Preferably on Mondays, because Mondays I could get up, do my shit, and then I don't stay up late on Monday, so I could kind of recover the sleep cycle. But Alec, I can't promise anything yet. Yeah, I can't believe EVS got a Lego Death Star either. I wouldn't know what to do with that. If somebody sent me one, I'd be like, thanks. And I'd just set it there until I moved. Wait a minute, Jeff. If you're a Triple H, then how can you be a Rock fan? You can't smell what he's cooking no matter how big that nose is because it's up Vince's ass. No, I love that. Though. Yeah, Rock is my favorite. But, Triple H isn't a good place in life. He wanted to be a wrestler. He made it, and now he basically runs wrestling behind the scenes. Sadly, his WrestleMania, well, it's not his WrestleMania, but this WrestleMania is looking to be kind of disappointment. Let's see. Where are we at? Thank you, Agent Carter, that you love Good Morning Pop Culture for telling me that. I loved that show. That was my favorite Marvel television show from the MCU. Didn't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Never missed an episode of Agent Carter, though. People are liking the once a week thing. Klaus Dorix. Good morning, Jeff. The best use of a Wilhelm scream. I do like the one in A New Hope when Princess Leia shoots the guy and he falls off the thing. The Indiana Jones ones make me laugh, especially during the truck chase in Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's the one I'm going to go with right now, that truck chase. That is my personal favorite. That's a good question, though. I need to get that sound effect isolated so I can use that as a ringtone because I'll laugh. Oh! Every time I get a text or something, I'll be like, shit, people text me so I can hear that. Where are we at? Let's see. GMPC and short controlled burst is how you kill the xenomorphs. Well, anything I can do to help stop the infestation, I'll gladly do that. Oh God, A. Pierce. I could never. I wouldn't know what to do with a Batmobile that you could drive. When I move eventually, sure, but right now it'd be weird to try to park a Batmobile on my street. No. I got into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think I watched the first 4 episodes and then I threw in the hat. Here's how I operate with stuff. I will give a comic book series 3 issues to hook me. Like, if the first one's okay, I'll read 2 and 3, and if it's nothing by then, I'm done. I usually do the same for a TV show, and a movie, I will watch a movie even if I don't like it all the way through, and then that's kind of it. I'll never watch it again. But maybe I'm missing out on some good stuff. I don't know. But that's as far as I got into it. But yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that is weird. That high I rode from the first Avengers really, really carried over. In many ways, I'm still riding it now. Like, I just think about how much fun that movie was. The movie was great. The ending was great. That stupid Soundgarden song. I even listen to that still. That was "Live to Rise" or whatever. That summer was just like I think 2012 was one of the best years for me personally in terms of going to the movie. I went 53 or 54 times. I went to the movies in 2012. I went to the movie essentially every week with Joel. I bought tons of comics. I did some gaming. See, Joel was cool because we both had Xbox 360s, and he would let's say, he bought Gears of War, but he stopped playing Bulletstorm. You want to borrow Bulletstorm, and he wouldn't care. Whenever I gave it back, I gave it back. So I had a lot of fun hanging out with Joel in that regards. Actually, in every regard, we never had a bad time hanging out. Like, I'm gonna see he'll be at Star Wars Celebration. He'll be at WrestleMania. I'm looking forward to seeing Joel. That's my one of my closest friends. So, but 2012, man, we saw so many movies, and the Avengers was the highlight. That Skyfall really got me. Dark Knight Rises was good too. I'll never forget looking at Dion, and I looked at him. I said, "Dude, if Batman dies, I don't think I can handle this." And he goes, "Yeah, me neither." And we just were watching that scene when he flew over Gotham. And then the shit, and then we kept looking at each other during the funeral of Bruce Wayne and the statue and all this shit. We're like, and then the ending happened. We're like, yeah, we all cheered, and then we went home and drank and then passed out. Odd story to tell, but fuck, man, that was awesome. You may have heard the Wilhelm scream in the Orville. I think Lucasfilm said they want to keep it out of Star Wars stuff, but that's a small part of the identity of Star Wars, man. That's why Lucasfilm or Disney Star Wars is so soulless. Oh, these are dumb. These little things are dumb. Look, at George Lucas may not have been the world's best director, but he did give us the first Star Wars, and he did steer the franchise in the right direction for decades. Yes, the prequels have problems. I'm not going to act like, oh, episode 1 and 2 are great movies. I'm not going to lie to you. They two kind of sucks at times. But overall, Star Wars was treated with the respect and the dignity that it deserves. It is the biggest, most important franchise ever. I'll stand by it. Star Wars is the most important movie ever made in terms of the modern blockbuster. I won't say it's the best because that's a subjective thing. And some people will go, well, Citizen Kane's better. The Wizard of Oz is better. And yes, some of those movies have bigger cinematic innovations. But I mean, come on, you can't even discredit Star Wars one bit. There's so much that movie did right. And Lucas, some of the special edition changes are garbage, but he was able to keep the movie valuable. Star Wars really, that Blu-ray box set came out at $80 and it stayed at $80. Star Wars has value. Those toys never went on clearance because people bought them like crazy. Disney buying Star Wars, it just became another property. It was no longer the main event. Let's see. Rogue One was okay. Best thing about Force Awakens was Harrison Ford. Last Jedi and Solo, hot garbage. Uncle Remus, I like Rogue One. I will agree with you that it was okay. The Force Awakens, man, that pissed me off. Jeremy talking about how he doesn't like it now makes me laugh. I'm like, dude, welcome to the club, man. Welcome to the club. The guy who runs up to Indy screaming in Temple of Doom then screams as he falls over is a classic. Benobi, I was thinking of that one because it's right into the pit. Because it's like he's got that stick thing and he kind of like pole vaults into lava. Oh man, I love Temple of Doom. Unpopular opinion, favorite Indiana Jones movie. That's all I can say. That whole trilogy, man. We're gonna watch that. We're gonna do that live stream here on the channel. The Library of Congress rejected special editions. I do know that, yes, because they requested it because it was artistically important. Its first year, and he sent the 97 cuts, and no, they refused to take it. You got to put the original cuts. I'm an advocate of Star Wars getting the Blade Runner approach, meaning the 77 edition, and I'm going to go with the 70 millimeter print because there are different sound effects and different lines of dialogue that really help fix the movie. So not just the video release, but the original theatrical cut, 70 millimeter. Then you could put out the 97, the 04, the 11, and then with all those, give us one final cut, fixes the CGI, does some special edition changes, takes out some, like Blade Runner. Blade Runner got 5 cuts. Give Star Wars 5 or 6 cuts. Everybody wins. Nobody can be pissed off anymore. And it's really easy to do. And Lucasfilm, if you're hearing this, another suggestion, make sure every cut has the exact same quality of audio, color timing, this and that, so fans can sit and edit their own cuts of Star Wars and keep going on about that shit forever. I may want this one specific special edition change and nothing else. Well, it won't jump around in color grading. It's already done for us. So just give us what we want. Every version. Yeah, I don't know what people don't love about Temple of Doom. It's the darkest one, they say. I think Raiders is the darkest one. Yeah, people get their heart ripped out and they're shit with bugs, but Raiders is the bloodiest one. People's heads explode, their faces melt off. There's blood when they get shot. The other Indiana Jones movies, there are some blood, like, explosions and shit. But Raiders is the darkest one. I mean, Indy shoots that dude in the head as he drives by on the truck, and there's just blood everywhere, and then crashes and explodes. But I don't think it's bad. That's not a knock at it. I just don't think Temple of Doom's as dark as they say. I think it's. I don't mean this in a negative way. It's the most cartoony, but that's not a bad thing. Like the interaction between Indy and Willie Scott in Short Round is comical and like in a good haha way, not a bad way. Like when Indy goes, "That wasn't so bad, was it?" And then they fly off the fucking cliff as they're going down on the thing. Or my favorite line of that whole movie is when she looks at Indy and goes, "You know how to fly a plane, don't you?" And he goes, "No, do you?" And he just kind of looks over at her. I laugh every time. Small little interactions like that. Plus, you can rip on Kate Capshaw all you want. She brings something to the movie. She's not a bad actress. I like her. So Temple of Doom, I just think it's unfairly shat on, but it's my favorite. I'll never forget the day I found the toy line at a Kroger. I freaked out. I was like, "Oh my God, finally." And that was the first one I saw on DVD. I remember Best Buy had like a widescreen but not high definition TV, and they were running the Indiana Jones DVD on it. And I stood in the store and watched it because it looked so great. I mean, I had a shitty little TV at the time, and just to see that movie in all its crystal clear DVD glory. That movie actually, that DVD box set came out on my birthday in 2003. If anyone out there has a poster of it, I would love if you could send it to me or I could buy it from you or something. There's a Indiana Jones poster that says, "Get the DVD collection October 21st." I would love to own that because it's my birthday and it's Indiana Jones, and that DVD box set was awesome. We are going to die. Yeah, Darth Primus. I visualized that as soon as I read that. Barbarella Alpha, it's funny that you talk about the ending of Raiders. As a kid, when I first saw it, it bothered me too. And you know who else it bothered? Was The Rock. Like a couple of years, maybe over a decade ago at this point, he was at the Oscars and he talked about the scene from Raiders being too real. And I thought, yeah, Rock, we could finally agree on something. I may watch you on TV, but now we have something to talk about. That ending, to me, it's the Belloc head exploding. It's kind of just like that scene from Scanners. Now, they don't bother me as adults now, or as an adult, but back then I was just like, I don't want to watch this. I love the face melting part because it's so over the top, but the head is a little too realistic, and I just kind of like, But great movie. God, I love all of them. I do prefer the costume from Temple of Doom over the costume from Raiders. And if you're thinking, aren't they the same? No, they're slightly different hats, different pants. I don't know. There's something about that look, especially when he's on the rope bridge and he's out in the middle of it, and he's like, oh shit, and he has to cut the rope. Not you crazy. All that shit. So good. Wasn't the reason Temple of Doom was so dark due to the writer having a shit time when he did the screenplay, like a divorce? Yeah, I think that was Lucas and his divorce and stuff like that. And I think it was Bill and Gloria Huck or Katz or something. They were a couple, and I think one of them just passed away recently, that wrote the movie too. See, I would love to suggest that you guys go out and watch the Indiana Jones Special Features DVD, but Kathleen Kennedy's on it a lot. So, yeah. But back then, she was just a harmless, whatever, executive producer. Now she runs the show, and the show is garbage. Yes, the MPA did create the PG-13 rating partially due to Temple of Doom. Spielberg pushed Last Crusade to get a PG-13 to stand by it, I believe. Yeah, the shirt's a little different. There are a lot of differences in the costume. I think Michael from Retro Blasting is the best person to talk about. There used to be, well, I don't know if it's still there. It was a forum called The Raven. I used to spend a lot of time there back in 2008 when Indiana Jones 4 came out, because I'd talk about the toys for hours, and we would look at pictures and I'd try to find them and shit like that. And that was the best place to talk about Indiana Jones. If we had this show back then, we'd be talking a lot about Indiana Jones. You betrayed Shima. Yeah, people love Last Crusade. That movie turns 30 this year. So we're going to do a commentary. See, because Last Crusade is 30, Temple of Doom is 35, and Raiders is, 37 or 38 years old. So it's kind of an odd number. But you can't do those two without Raiders. So I think here on the channel, we'll do a live stream of all Indiana Jones flicks and a Batman 89, License to Kill, a couple of them. Maybe even a Miami Vice one. That'd be fun, too. A. Pierce was on the Raven. So, yeah. We may have spoke in the past. That was a fun message board. There was this one guy, man. He had the best Indiana Jones collection. I don't remember his screen name, but he would post. He had like everything. Like, oh, here's a Burger King cup, or I'm just it's a random example. I don't know if it's real, but he had all this shit. And I'm just like, damn, dude. I was a little jealous. Girthy Game Resty, yeah, you were there too. I was, like I said, man, I was a big time into that. I worked for 7-Up Pop Company. I'd go to work, I'd come home, I'd get on the Raven, and then I'd fall asleep because I was so fucking tired. Miami Vice, the show, not the terrible Colin Farrell, Jamie Foxx movie, right, Jeff? Of course. The show turns 35 this year. It is tied for my favorite TV show. Miami Vice, Twilight Zone, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. My 3 favorite shows. A. Pierce says, there are differences in all 3 jackets and hats, mask, bag, strap, holsters, whips, pants, and shoes were the same. Okay. I loved the one difference that you could tell, well, not the one difference. One thing I didn't like from part 4 was how the strap was over the jacket type of thing. I thought that was kind of annoying. Darth Tico, I am excited for the next Godzilla movie. That's going to get the 7 p.m. Thursday night showing treatment, which turns into a show here on the channel. So what is that, May 31st or some shit like that? We're putting it out there right now. It's going to happen. Benobi says, Jeff, there's a little nostalgia to Good Morning Pop Culture now. That's been a while since we've been here. Yes, it is. There is a little bit of nostalgia. And like I said, I'm having a great time. It's 10 o'clock. Who cares? It's kicking ace. That's all I can keep saying. All right, so Trent's out there. Okay, so if you're a patron, folks, tonight we're going to record the A View to a Kill commentary. I got a lot to say about that movie. I really like that song, but wait till that. By the way, if I mentioned publicly that we're going to start looking into other platforms for creator content and stuff like that. So we'll jump to Subscribe Star. We'll be everywhere. We're not getting rid of Patreon, but we are going to expand to other platforms because people feel more comfortable with those. So we will have all those, and you guys can choose to do what you want to do. Before, we just didn't really know or have the time to take the time and do all that. But I actually have a couple really cool concepts that I'm going to bring into our, crowdfunding, but you know what I mean, like the Patreon level stuff. At the top tier, we're going to, as soon as we get the website, I'm introducing a quarterly gift type of thing and all that stuff. So be on the lookout. And if you're at Star Wars Celebration, we're giving out some world-class bullshitter stickers. And I know you're thinking, stickers or whatever. Now, I got these really high-end vinyl stickers made, and you better get them now because I won't be selling these ones on the store. We're actually redesigning the artwork. We're keeping the GTA aesthetic, but I'm getting them digitally painted. It's going to be cooler, and those are going to go on the shirts and all that stuff. So if you guys, get one of those, hold on to it. Take a couple. I bought a lot of them, so they're just advertising for everybody. Am I going to watch the new Twilight Zone? No. I love the original. I don't like the 80s or the early 2000s version. So my distaste in Jordan Peele's work isn't the only reason why I'm not going to watch it. And the funny thing is, I love Key and Peele. I think it's the second best sketch comedy show right behind Chappelle's Show. Chappelle's Show, one of the best shows ever made. Key and Peele, really great stuff. I love both of those guys. I even like the movie Keanu, even though it's not that great. My point is, I don't think Jordan Peele's as smart as he thinks he is, so I really just don't care about his stuff. You can make your horror movies, you can make money. Hey, good. More power to you, brother. I wish you the best of luck. But you're not Rod Serling. You're not Buck Houghton. You're not any of those other writers. There was the beauty of the Twilight Zone is the subtlety of the messages, you can watch a Twilight Zone episode on two levels. You can watch it for the science fiction / horror, then you can watch it for the social commentary. And that is why I rip apart politics and entertainment the way I do, because the subtlety's gone. Like, society in many ways is dumber, but also with technology and the way people analyze a fucking movie trailer, you could analyze an episode of a TV show or another film that doesn't say Star Wars in it and really get the deeper meaning. I think subtlety and just needs to come back in general. John Carpenter's They Live is a very political film, but it does it right. And I don't complain about that. I don't even have to agree with your politics. You just have to tell me a good story and then, put it in there, roll it in there that way. But they refuse to. It's always about agendas, and it's just poorly executed. And there are certain things like a Star Wars that should transcend that and be a modern fairy tale, myth, good versus evil, very basic. Have other elements that are deeper, but the basic story is a good story, Vader, see, remember, folks, I'm one of those people, I can watch Star Wars as the trilogy, like everyone else, where I'm into the lore and I follow all this is Anakin, his father. But I also can watch Star Wars from the way it was intended originally, where Vader was the evil Jedi that killed Luke's father and he wants revenge and that kind of stuff. So, but Star Wars has so many layers to it, and that's why it works the way it used to, at least. So I don't want to go rambling on about Star Wars. I'm sorry. Let's see. Yes, people are talking about Married with Children in the chat. Since we've also had Good Morning Pop Culture, I think I was watching a little bit of Married with Children, maybe at the end of the year. Will I be selling World Class Bullshitters t-shirts? Oh, I got a whole line of stuff. I'm glad you guys want it, and I'm glad you guys are patient. I'm trying to get a couple things worked out, mainly this comic, because I know a lot of people are going to buy shirts, and I just want to have everything be as professional as possible. And doing it in-house is saving money, and I'm going to pass the saving on to you. So the World Class Bullshitter shirts will be all high-quality stuff. It'll be the same brand you'd get from any, like, crypto fashion or any of that stuff, but cheaper because I make it, and you can get more shirts. It'll be better. I don't think people want to pay $35 for a shirt like they do in the WWE. I'll give you guys quality artwork, all that shit. I'm actually going to get the artwork outsourced. I'm going to do the line art. We're going to get it professionally colored. We got tons of concepts. Put it like this. I have so many concepts written down. I could do a new t-shirt every month for like a decade. And that's not an exaggeration. We came up with like 20 concepts at Horror Hound alone. So be prepared, and you can pick what you want. And I got a whole program worked out. Like our buddy Jeremy Peerboom is technically the first one, because the program's going to be, if you wear one of our shirts to a convention and take a picture, I'm going to send you like a sticker and give you a shout out and all this shit. But he wore the Dong Lover shirt to meet Paul Rudd, and Paul Rudd commented on it like instantly. And Jeremy sends me this picture. He goes, dude, look, Paul Rudd likes my shirt. And he's wearing the Dong Lover shirt. And he just laughed. Like, they had a good laugh about it. I'm thinking to myself, awesome, Paul Rudd noticed the shirt. And that's, that's cool. That's a step in the right direction. It means the shit we make catches people's eyes. So the GTA shirt that we used to sell, because we used to have a website for shirts back when we only had like 300 subscribers. We had the shirts down, but we didn't have the people watching. There's an old GTA shirt design that Nick still wears to this day, and it catches people's attention. I might even bring that one back for old school fans, have every design ever for the show, and you can pick your favorites. But yeah, I will definitely have the store is going to be the next step in the channel, and we're gonna have tons of shit: mugs, beer glasses, beer cups, all kinds of stuff. Just be on the lookout. I've been getting all kinds of distributors lined up because I don't want to give you guys shitty quality. That's my number one goal. Have I seen Thundergun Express? I hear he hangs dong. Yeah, best goddamn movie I've ever seen in my life. You don't want to miss a minute of that movie. Darth Ego, hey Jeff, have you thought about doing a Clerks 2 commentary? Yes, that is in the cards. Clerks and Clerks 2 with Kendo. If you listen to our Clerks animated commentary on Patreon, it was 2.5 hours. It was really nice to talk about Kevin Smith positively. We used to love him. I used to love him. His work lately has been whatever, but the old stuff takes me back to grade school, high school, when I kind of wanted to be like Kevin Smith. And now I'm just like, I don't want to be like Kevin Smith. I'm better adjusted than he is in life emotionally. I think a lot of the Clerks allure was like that slacker generation. They made a movie that appealed to those people. That's never been me, but we've connected with our audience through other stuff. So I'm still all about Kevin Smith. His old stuff, just not his new stuff. Let's see. No Rod Serling equals no Twilight Zone. Brian, you are 100% right, dude. Are you going to be at Indie Horror Hound again this year? Because I hope you come by the table. I felt bad. You were so excited to come hang out, and then like all these people swarmed. We're going to be at Indie again, man. Come hang out. Let's see. Brandon Smith says, best sketch show ever was Kids in the Hall. Prolo Creed says, In Living Color is better than Chappelle's show. Ooh, those are really worthy. I will say, I like Kids in the Hall. I'm squishing your head and all that stuff. I like Kids in the Hall a lot, but I will give the nod between those two to In Living Color. In Living Color was incredibly important. It gave us Jim Carrey, or James Carrey as he's credited on the show, the Wayans. I like that show. I was actually watching the Jim Carrey sketch yesterday, the skit where he was the environmental guy. Funny shit. But man, something about Chappelle's show, dude, even to this day, I'm Rick James bitch, kind of catches on. So I'll stick with that, but I love all those shows. Yeah, Alec Munoz has a good point. Love Key and Peele, but yeah, he thinks he's much better than he thinks he is. Yeah, look, I like Jordan Peele. I'd probably like him in real life, but I'm not looking for auteur Jordan Peele. I think he made a movie that caught on, Get Out, and he has bought into his own ego. And to me, that is when a creator loses me. Somebody like a Todd McFarlane has built his brand, but he's also kind of humble. I mean, yeah, he's got the ego and the larger than life appeal, but if you watch his art videos, he talks about sucking and failing and all that stuff. He's very open and honest. I think that's why somebody like him has been able to do what he's done, besides give, good artwork. But this isn't the 70s anymore. We don't need to buy into the visage of like a old Marlon Brando type of thing. So Jordan Peele, just stay humble, man. Worked for Rocky. Oh God, Nightmare at 30,000 Feet will be reimagined as an allegory for Islamophobia. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. Nope, never gonna watch that show. Sorry. Mareth Dealine is working and lurking. Thank you, Mareth Dealine, for the super chat and sticking with us. By the way, folks, make sure you check out last night's High Council, because Mareth Dealine was writing sausage limericks for all of us, and the sausage jokes are real. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, subtlety is a lost art. It's like the lost art of interrogation, according to the Defense Minister of Michigan. Let's see. All the classic subs are here. All hail Good Morning Pop Culture. It is. I'm seeing a lot of names. It's bringing me back. Liquor Jim says I'm 2 degrees away from Paul Rudd. That makes me proud. I am a Paul Rudd fan. Even before Ant-Man, I have nothing but nice things to say about Paul Rudd. I love you, man. Role models. Just there's something likable about the dude, and he's like the anti-Will Ferrell, where he plays the same character in a lot of his movies, but there's something about it that works every time. Especially I Love You, Man. It was weird. So I saw I Love You, Man in college. The first day it came out, I had a girlfriend, and we went on a date with another couple, and we all liked the movie. And I thought, man, I really want a friendship like those two guys. Just fun friendship. And then I realized years later, I was like, yeah, it's like me and Dion. And then we watched it up in Michigan right on, I think it was the day after New Year's. And we watched it. We're like, dude, we should get fish tacos. So we went out and got fish tacos, met American Trent, had dinner. That movie always holds a special place in my heart. Is it the greatest movie ever made? No, but it has a hell of a cast. And if you haven't seen it, give it a watch. I guarantee you'll laugh. Let's see. What is the house comic title? Are you asking like about stealing Solo, Jacob? Because I don't know how to answer that question. I apologize. Let's see. Where are we at? People talking about Al Bundy. Dion cartoon with him sleeping on a shirt. I can do that. We're going to have a Honey Dickens shirt and all that stuff. Definitely. I will see the Jay and Silent Bob reboot movie. I didn't meet Kevin Smith. I went to his live show. It was awesome. Back in 2012. Yeah, we all went to see Jay and Silent Bob Goodall. It was a lot of fun. Yoga Hosers is a piece of shit movie, though. People say Chasing Amy was his best work. Chasing Amy is Jason Lee. Kevin Smith's going through menopause. Oh, dude, Benobi, the Your Mama's So Fat jokes from In Living Color. My favorite was Your Mama's So Fat, she sat on a quarter and one of George Washington's burgers came out. I remember that I was like almost 30 years ago. I still remember that shit. Oh, my God, that was great. Oh, man. Where are we at? Oh, shit. In Living Color's having a reunion show. I know a guy who married one of the Fly Girls. Ooh, Cesare Japan. I want to hear about that, man. Let's see. Paul Rudd is in Halloween 6. He plays, what is it, Tommy Doyle? Right, yeah. Tommy Doyle is Halloween. Tommy Jarvis is Friday the 13th. Halloween 6 is shitty, but I love Paul Rudd's best work, that Super Nintendo commercial. Paul Rudd was in Clueless. I did not like the movie Clueless. Why am I getting a phone call? Sorry, folks. Shut up, phone. Let's see. Thoughts on Dinner for Schmucks, says Mareth Dialine. Mareth Dialine, I saw Dinner for Schmucks in theaters with Joel. Not the best. Not the best, if I'm being honest. I don't dislike it, but put it like this. I laughed at the movie. I liked it enough back then, but I don't need to watch it ever again. If that I don't want that to sound too harsh, but that's how I feel. There are a lot of movies that I chuckled at or liked and enjoyed, but I don't ever want to watch them again. You'd be surprised. WCBS Dirty Dozen stream would be amazing. I finally saw that movie for the first time, and it was great. I really liked it. We can do some classic stuff here. It's completely fine. Hey, Jeff, what's up? Props if you get it. You mean like the old, was it the Budweiser commercial that they parodied in Scary Movie? Which, that was a movie I used to watch all the time as well. Hello there, says Halloween 6 I like due to it was Donald Pleasant's last film. Donald Pleasance is the key to the Halloween franchise and why the post Halloween 6, so H2O Resurrection, Rob Zombies, and the new one are lacking. Because I think the best analogy I ever heard was Michael Myers is like the shark and Dr. Loomis. Oh, no. It's vampire. Michael Myers is Dracula and Dr. Loomis is Van Helsing. He's always trying to hunt down the monster. And you have he had the blackest eye. Well, that's from Jaws. Shit, sorry. His eyes were. He says something about black eyes, not like a doll's eyes. That's Jaws. But my point is, without a Loomis chasing after Michael Myers, it becomes less of a. It has that gothic element. It has all those things. They try to turn Halloween into a survivor's tale, which, yes, it is to a degree. But Jamie Lee Curtis, who became a huge star The franchise initially was Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis, and she was kind of a victim. Then in part 2, she got a bigger role, which she should. She's a great actress. I'm a big Jamie Lee Curtis fan, especially Fish Called Wanda or Trading Places. But then they changed it to be about her surviving, and they tried to make it a Me Too movie and all that. And Halloween, what is this? The remake or whatever it's called, Halloween 2018, just disappointed me on so many levels. I feel like they had a ton of opportunities, but that Dr. Rathka or whatever his name was, they tried to bring back a Loomis style character. They just didn't do it. And all the respect in the world to Donald Pleasance. Rest in peace. Great Blofeld. Not the best, but we it got shitty. Oh, people are talking about In Living Color. Man, if I could get that. It was on Hulu for a while, but not the full episodes. They would have like clips. So you would watch multiple clips in a row, but it was fun. The Star Trek 6, The Wrath of Louis Farrakhan or whatever was hilarious. Oh, the comic is stealing Solo Captain's parody. It's we funded it on Indiegogo last year. I posted all the information about the delays, but we're almost done, and it will be shipped out to you guys, and everyone's going to be excited for it. Let's see. Alec Munoz says, please watch Donald Pleasance in Puma Man. So bad. All right. I'll check it out. I'm always down. Wasn't that... You guys remember Cheetah Men, the shitty video game? I don't, but I know what you're talking about. Let's see. Jeffrey Hickleberry says, I have kidnapped Logan for hating Pops. Well, I will do whatever is necessary to save our friend Logan Michael. Just give me a call, man. The WCBS crew will have to fight the evil that is Jeffrey Hickleberry. Marath Dealine, thank you very much. Idea for a t-shirt parody of Godfather with Dion at the center surrounded by horse heads. Oh my God, I love it. I think Dion would hate it. Like, no. But he has no say in the matter. Oh my God. I kind of want to do that now. I want to do that. Yes, Donald Pleasance was the president in Escape from New York. That's a good movie. Please don't remake it, Hollywood. Please don't. Let John Carpenter retire in peace. Or John, make a new movie. World Class Bullshitters has your back. He is a top 5 person I would love to interview for the channel. Because I don't want to go on about Halloween. I just want to talk about his filmmaking, his take on today. Like, John Carpenter's a really interesting guy who has really gone far in life, but I don't think a lot of people talk about him. He's made great films. I say that Spielberg was had the best 80s in terms of box office, and really creatively he just was firing on cylinders. But John Carpenter was very close. I wouldn't even call him second. In my opinion, John Carpenter made almost equally great films. They just didn't have the appeal that Spielberg's did. And I mean, when you're coming up against Rangers of the Lost Ark, E.T., Color Purple, all kinds of shit like that, it's really hard to match. But I mean, Carpenter had The Thing, Escape from New York, They Live, was it Prince of Darkness, just all kinds of stuff, all quality movies. So obviously Spielberg's the biggest of all time, but Carpenter, should be equally respected. Oh yeah, as well as The Fog. I need to watch The Fog. I haven't seen that in years. I know Carpenter's really not associated with Creepshow, but I got that Blu-ray set last year, and I love me some anthology shit. Let's see where are we at. It's moving quickly. 80s and 90s belong to Spielberg. Now, not so much. Yeah, he is. But, watch the next video because I talk about how the Disney-Fox merger negates or, nerfs the possibility of the next Spielberg. I don't want to keep picking on Jordan Peele because I don't dislike him. Like I said, I love Key and Peele. I think he's hilarious. But I think when somebody like him that's going to buy into his own hype and only produce one type of movie and have one kind of message, his movies are kind of divisive, and that's fine. He's trying to do what he's trying to do. But somebody like a Spielberg really crosses the boundaries. Like, you can be any age, any economic background, any color, and you can find a Spielberg film you like. That shit brought kids together. I don't care if you're a man or a woman or any color. Everybody loves Indiana Jones and would kind of like to have a little bit of that Indiana Jones swagger about him. he's smart, he gets the woman, he does this, he overcomes the odds. A good story is not about skin color unless it's trying to be strictly about that. A good story is really for everybody. I pity the little kids who have to be put in a box by their shitty, stupid SJW parents. It's like, well, you have to like this character because it looks like you. I look nothing like Luke Skywalker or Peter Parker. My favorite shit. My mom never made me like stuff. Now, funnily enough, my mom was the reason I got into comics because she liked it, but kind of, just gave me it. And then I kind of picked up on my own. But I never had to like Bishop from the X-Men or whatever. I mean, no comic book character looks anything like me. And I didn't know my dad was Andre the Giant back then. So it was a different time when he was still alive. But my point I'm trying to get at is I feel bad for those kids. Everybody can like whatever they want. I don't get why that's a thing. That pisses me off. Don't watch the new Fog. It was trash. It was trash. I've seen it with Tom. What's his face? Superman from Smallville. Yeah, not a good. Tom Welling, right? Yeah, Tom Welling. Not a good movie. Big Trouble in Little China. I'm sorry I forgot that one. I love that movie. I think Kim Cattrall is one of those like unsung hotties of the 80s. She looked great in that. She looked great in Police Academy. Porky's. I like Kim Cattrall big time, actually. The Leslie Nielsen story from Creepshow is my favorite one, actually. When he's sitting there laughing and he's like, something to tide you over. Yeah, that's what it's called. I love Creepshow. It looks amazing on that new Blu-ray release. If you guys have if you have interest in it, pick it up. It's really worth it. Mareth Dioline, thank you very much. Idea for a t-shirt parody of old black and white detective movies. Jeff at a desk with drawer open revealing desk wine. God, desk wine. Oh my God. True story. I've told this on the podcast, but since, GMPC is a more intimate event, up until Horror Hound, I hadn't drank a single drop of booze. Didn't even miss it. We talk about all these crazy ragers we've had and stuff. But I can definitely tell you I have no alcohol addiction because I can go months and months and not drink. I just don't ever have the urge to have a beer. Like I could have a beer any day of the week. I'm an adult. I could drink and still fully perform this job. I just don't have any interest. But man, desk wine. Whew. I don't know. Maybe I should get some desk wine now. Let's see. The industry has passed Spielberg by. His open opposition to Netflix and antiquated view rooted in protecting the studio system, stifling innovation, and propping up his own legacy. He's a prick. I'm not saying that Steven Spielberg is the most important man in Hollywood today. You do need to evolve. I'm not saying that. But I was just saying strictly in the 80s, who did it better? I mean, I've never seen E.T. I have no interest in building that one up. But even if we just look at the shit he produced, Goonies and Back to the Future alone right there, those are two of the greatest movies ever made. I mean, that guy's fingerprints are on so many of the great Gremlins. All this great shit from the 80s is somehow associated with Spielberg. So yeah, today he's not the same Spielberg he was. Lucas isn't the same Lucas. Kevin Smith isn't the same Kevin Smith. What director really kind of holds on to that same level and never loses what made them who they are? I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic. Seriously, give me a name and we'll talk about it. That's a discussion we can have. But yeah, Spielberg definitely. I think I saw Lincoln. He did Ready Player One. I liked that. Some people didn't. I had a good time. It was weird. I think that was the first movie I saw in theaters post The Last Jedi. And I went, wow, this is what it's like to walk out of a movie theater and have a good time. Phoebe Cates, for unsung. The thing is, I think Phoebe Cates is hot. But she's always in that category of 80s hotties. I think Kim Cattrall's just, because people know her from Sex and the City and whatever. But yeah, and somebody else talking about Jennifer Connelly. I mean, double thumbs up. I'm not even denying that. I know Career Opportunities from 91, but man, she looks amazing in that movie. I don't think she looks better than anything else. Maybe The Rocketeer. Jennifer Connelly. If I could go back in time, yeah. Anyway, though, her and Phoebe Cates, super hotties. 80s had some hot women. I still give my nod to Kelly LeBrock as the 80s defining woman. Some people say Christy Brinkley. I thought Ellen Griswold was just as hot. Let's see. We're talking about I have a guilty pleasure, The Dukes of Hazzard. The movie, or the TV show. I saw the movie in theaters with my buddy from grade school. It was okay. Dion's desk wine needs to be a thing. Dion is a whiskey man. I'll tell you guys this too. I got drunk on a thing called hard seltzer down at a bar we went to in downtown. It was great, and I was hydrated. That was my favorite part. Let's see. Gotta say, Phoebe Jennifer looks like one of my friend's girlfriends now, which would be weird. Oh, well, look, your friend's very lucky. That's all I can say. Good for you, Jeff. There are three main reasons why I don't drink, and all three of them are alcoholics. Well, JSP, yeah, man. Being an alcoholic is a. I don't know anybody that is personally, but I can see a lot of people who have fallen into that slope or slipped down that slope, and it's a serious thing. For me, I don't think I have an addictive personality. I can. It's like, well, I can't play video games because I have to do this. It's important, or this or that. I think the only thing I'm really addicted to is growing the channel and doing what I got to do to make it even bigger. And luckily, it's a fun thing. Like they say, if you love what you do, it's never really work. So I love what I do. Believe me. If I had another me, I'd make even more videos because I got tons to say. I love to write these videos and perform them. It's so fun. That's all I can say. Sean Young was meant to be Vicky Vale. She was an 80s hottie. She is on my list too. I guess I really like brunettes underneath it all. Now, yeah, she was and also she was going to be Catwoman. There's a story about how she went into a producers meeting dressed in a Catwoman suit and jumped around a table and shit. Like, yeah, Sean Young looks great in Blade Runner. Holy shit. I still think of that damn meme somebody sent me. It's a picture of Star Wars, a picture of Blade Runner. On the top, it's Princess Leia looking to Han Solo and goes, you came in that thing? You're braver than I thought. And underneath, it's a picture of Rachel from Blade Runner. And I lost it. So, people are throwing their 80s hottie love. See, this is why I like Good Morning Pop Culture, because we can talk about this kind of stuff, for prolonged periods, and everyone's cool. It's just kind of like a hangout spot in the morning. I kind of get why people missed it now. New Dumbo movie is supposed to be awful. Good to see Disney fail. I'm opposed to all Disney animated remakes. I refuse to support them. It's not even a stance on the channel. It's just my personal. If I want to watch Dumbo, I'll go back and watch the old one. I got it on tape somewhere. Now Aladdin actually pissed. Aladdin and Lion King, even up until recently, what are your two favorite Disney movies? Because I don't count Pixar shit. Because The Incredibles is great. I love the first one. I still have yet to watch my Blu-ray that someone sent me for Christmas. Thank you if you're listening. But the Aladdin and Lion King are just two that really hit when I was a kid, and I kind of still watched them regularly. Aladdin especially, dude. I love that movie. And the video game, forget about it. That was the first video game I ever beat. That would have been Christmas '94 when I got that. So I would have been 5. No, I've been 6 at the time. No, yeah. I was 6 years old. That was the first video game I ever beat all the way through. I still remember the code. Genie, Jafar, Aladdin, Abu. If you got it for Super Nintendo, you type in that code. It takes you right to the Genie's level. So there you go. But that and Lion King, man, I watched Lion King. We had a family member stay with us from West Virginia one summer. And I shit you not, he was older than me. He watched Lion King every night before bed. I would just go to sleep. I'd say, I'm tired of the Lion King, and I'd roll over and go to bed. But that dude would stay up and, watch it every night. I just am against the remake. Both of those. I guess I'm just too tied to the originals, but there's no reason to remake them. I mean, Robin Williams, that was a career-making performance for, let me rephrase that, excuse me. That would be a career-making performance for any other actor, the way that performance was. But with Robin Williams, it was just one in a great many that he's done, but it's so iconic. And when I think of that song, You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me, I can't think of anybody besides Robin Williams singing it as the Genie. He's, when he passed away, I was really sad. The first thing I thought of was Aladdin. I was like, oh man, the Genie. But, you come to find out why he was sick or how he was sick and all that. And it was it put it all into perspective. But you can't top that. To me, it's like when you try to recast iconic roles like Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo, it just doesn't work. People love Will Smith. I used to love Will Smith. I still do like Will Smith, but he's not the Genie from Aladdin. He's not. He's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's Agent J from Men in Black. That's how I feel about Chris Hemsworth and that lady. What's her name? Tessa something. They're not. They shouldn't be in Men in Black. It should still be Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. That's their franchise. Did I just say my dad was Andre the Giant? Not really. People say I look like him. I don't think I do. But the funny thing is, I've been to many wrestling events where they have like Andre the Giant's clothes and stuff, and I'm way shorter than he would be. but I'm still like bigger than 90% of people. So people think I look like Andre the Giant. If you come to Chicago, you can see how tall I am. I'm looking forward to meeting Anna, that Star Wars girl, because apparently she's really short. So we're gonna take a picture, and that'll be funny to see the difference. Let's see. Ruff Dealing, thank you very much for a super chat. The only thing we serve here is tongue. You boys like tongue? I fucking love the Goonies. I was watching Throw Moms from the Train the other day for the first time ever. Man, Anne Ramsey is scary as shit looking. It's funny though. I probably told the story about Dealing, but every time somebody asks me what I want to eat, I go, I want a veal scallopini, I want a fettuccine alfredo, just like mouth, and no one ever gets it. If I ever do that in person and somebody gets it, I'm gonna hug them. I don't care if it's a stranger off the street. I'm hugging that stranger. That is my go-to line. Barbarella Alpha says, I'm a straight woman. My choice has always been Michelle Pfeiffer. Meow. Michelle Pfeiffer. Whew, she looks great in Scar. She's one of those people that like barely aged. She looked hot in the 70s and 80s and 90s and still looks great today, like an Ant-Man. So, yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer, man. Whew. Since I haven't seen Cannonball Run or any other 70s classic action comedy movies you haven't seen yet, I haven't seen Smokey and the Bandit, but I'd like to watch it. The thing is, if I haven't seen it, I want to watch it still. Like, there are some movies I have no desire to see, like I don't know, Jaws 3D. I've only seen parts of it. Sadly, I've seen Jaws: The Revenge. That was the first Jaws movie I ever saw. Ugh. Let's see. 128 watching, 125 likes. Feels good. It does feel good. I'm glad for all the love here on this channel. Linda Carter, all time. I usually think of Linda Carter as Wonder Woman came out in the 70s, and so I guess because I haven't really seen her in anything else, I still think of her as just Wonder Woman. But I mean, come on, who in the 70s? Let's see. Finkel is Einhorn. Finkel. That's my favorite part of that movie. He goes, and he like pukes and like burns his clothes and gets in the fire or the shower. It's hilarious. Let's see. Kenneth, where'd you go? Kenneth Sundergaard, thank you very much. Thanks for streaming in my time zone. You're very welcome. Like I said, we are world-class bullshitters, so we try to appeal to everybody across the planet. I'm sure there's some time zones. It's just we never hit right. But luckily, Good Morning Pop Culture seems to hit a certain part, and then usually our nighttime streams get the American people. But hey, we're glad we reach you. Thank you. That's all I can say, man. I appreciate it. Rocketeer, probably my favorite Disney movie. It had James Bond as a primary villain. Good movie. I need to go back and watch it. So Dave Stevens, the artist who created the Rocketeer, passed away many years ago. But I'm in this Facebook group dedicated to his artwork, and like his sister will come on his birthday, which was the last week, I believe. His sister talks about Dave. And so it's kind of weird, like learning so much about this artist. Like he's still alive, but he's passed away over a decade ago. It's kind of sad. But you guys got to look at the Rocketeer comics. Awesome. The artwork is top notch. Even today's art doesn't top it. And in the comic, his girlfriend is Betty Page. So there you go. It's interesting. You guys got to check it out. Let's see. What about Kim Richards and Tough Turf? I don't know who that is. Okay, Google. Kim Richards, Tough Turf.
Tough Turf is a 1985 movie.
Thank you. I didn't ask about that. It's got a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've never heard of this movie. Oh, okay. Wow. She is the most 80s thing I've seen all day. Holy shit. James Spader has hair. Oh, I kind of need to see this movie now because it looks so cliched, but I'd probably love it. I think there's fan art of the Nerd Rocks Discord of you as the Watcher, Jeff. I saw that. I wish they would give me a better character because I have all my hair, but whatever. I'm just thankful that people make fan art with me in it. That's pretty awesome. My favorite one was that new Avengers Avengers Endgame poster with me as Iron Man, Jeremy as Captain America. That was a lot of fun. I do like seeing those things. Whoever makes it, thank you very much, and a shout out to you guys. Want to buy some death sticks? You don't want to buy some death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. Where are we at? Jaws 3D is so bad. It's fun. Oh, God. I don't know if I can handle that. Hey, Jeff, did you ever see Deep Blue Sea? It traumatized me as a teen. I've seen that. I saw the opening scene as a kid. I said, nope, and I walked away. I need to watch that movie maybe again. I don't like shark movies. I'm not. It's weird. The older I get, the less that the fear subsides even more. Like I'm like, man, when I can get it, I'm gonna get a boat and go out on the ocean and hang out and live some life. But I still don't like sharks. The idea of being eaten just is what bothers me. Ugh. No, thank you. If I get too rowdy at Celebration, Brian Young might have to kick me out. Well, I don't know Brian Young. I know he's blocked me on Twitter. The funny part is, unlike Ethan and Jeremy, I'm in my icon. I'm in my logo, yet no one can place it. And then they look at it and they go, oh, well, yeah. I don't know that man. If some guy comes up to me and starts giving me a show, I'm like, do I know you, sir? And he'll go, no, you're whatever. I'm like, I've never spoken to you. I don't run the Twitter. Have a nice day. I'm there for you guys to provide you guys with entertainment, make content. These people, I don't know about them. I don't care about them. That's why we don't make Twitter drama videos, because I don't care about that shit. That is not important to me. That's why we get the views we do, and we have the audience. Like you guys, I don't just say this to be nice on the Good Morning Pop Culture or anything we do live. The people that watch this shit are awesome. There's jokes. There's a community built around it. We couldn't ask for anything more. It's such an easy community to have around your channel. Like I said, if I could meet each and every one of you, I would. Obviously, that the world permits or doesn't permit that right now. But I mean, we couldn't ask for anything else. And if somebody like a Brian Young tried to give a shit, I know you're joking. I wouldn't know who that is. You could show me a picture of 100 people. I couldn't pick out Brian Young from a lineup. Wouldn't care. That's why when on the High Council last night, Ethan and Jeremy had to tell me who he was. He's that unimportant to me. All this Twitter drama, all these people don't care. We talk about the topics, and it's not even like a fear thing. It's just it's irrelevant to me. I would rather make a video about the intricacies of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber in Return of the Jedi than I would any kind of Twitter drama. I don't even care about Luke's lightsaber in Return of the Jedi. Besides, it's cool and it's green and it's got the same handle as Obi-Wan's. It's just a different color. Let's see. I already answered that. Linda Carter, yes, man, she was great. Thank you, Bro Paulo Creed. I look as much, Jeff, you look like Andre the Giant as much as Zendaya looks like MJ. I don't think I look like Andre the Giant at all, but hey, it's a joke. I'll run with it. At least I look like somebody famous. Nothing But Trouble is the worst movie ever. Boom, that movie is terrible. I hate Nothing But Trouble. Thank you, Uncle Remus. God damn it, that movie is terrible. It is dog shit. I remember watching it as a kid, and I was like, this is stupid. My uncle loves it, not me. We got, let's see, Let the Sausage Flow Through You, says Testify HD. I'm all about letting the sausage flow. It's the energy force that surrounds us, penetrates us, binds us. That got weird. Let's see. Etapukuian says, Jeff, the town I grew up has like 300 people. It's named Merritt, and it's a dot on the map in northern Michigan. Burt Reynolds lived there as a kid. Our claim to fame. Now, it's weird. I know somebody with that last name who was from Michigan. I knew him at Michigan State University. Spielberg was born here, but we do have a lot of other stuff going on in Cincinnati. But I've never been to your part of Michigan. I'll tell you this, dude. Next time I'm in Michigan for a long period of time, we got to try to hang out. That'd be a lot of fun. We can talk about wrestling, all kinds of shit. And when we do if you want to do a wrestling show with us, by the way, for the patrons, we recorded our WrestleMania match countdown. Dion fell asleep during the commentary, so we couldn't get to that part, but we will. That's going to go up this week, as well as the View to a Kill commentary, because I figure only a small portion of fans like the wrestling stuff, so we want to give you extra content. So if you don't want to watch that, you still get something new this week, just to balance it out. But Etapukuian, I hope you check that out, man. I think you're going to love it. You've taken your first steps to the sausage. Let's see. So what's the bullshit these days? Well, it's world class, man. So there's always something going on. Let's see. I'd say you look like an Appalachian version of Andre the Giant. I mean, I don't live anywhere near the mountains, but I wear my shoes. I'm cool with that. I love Chevy Chase's Clark W. Griswold. So do I. I sometimes call him Clark W. Grizzle, and no one ever gets that joke, but I'm a big Chevy Chase fan, especially Fletch. I think we were talking about movies last night on the High Council, just shit we can watch and keep going on about. Fletch is that movie for me. I can watch that. That and Beverly Hills Cop. They're just, I don't know. I just really enjoy those movies. It could be the music, but it could also be the great stories that I love. I am C-3PO, human sausage relations. Let's see, Jeff, what's Nick's film channel he mentioned the other day? It's called Real Independent Productions, spelled R-E-E-L, like a film pun. Yeah, Nick is really busting his ass to get that channel going. He's got 100 and something subscribers. If you guys could all go give him some love. He reviews stuff in the horror vein right away. Him and his buddy, I think his name is Scotty, they go do these drive home reviews where they see the movie, they set up a camera, and they talk about it right after the theater. It's a lot of fun. I've been in that car, so there you go. Not that it even sells the channel. But no, Nick's a really great dude. He does a lot of he's actually got a video for you guys that he worked on from New Orleans last year about world-class bullshit. That's something I was going to tell you guys too about the Patreon. And this is going to go for subscribers for whatever else, what other platform, but we're just going to call it Patreon for now. We're going to start introducing videos and certain things like that with us in. We're going to film a lot of stuff for Celebration. So we just want to, we appreciate you guys sticking with us. We want to give you more. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see. Chevy Chase was great in SNL. In his films, he was a big douchebag. From what I read about him behind the scenes. Oh yeah, he seems like an asshole. I'm not going to look at the older I get, the more I can separate myself from sometimes liking an actor and a character. I don't think I'd like Chevy Chase in the slightest, but he does a good job as Clark W. Griswold as being like that lovable, goofy dad. And Fletch, he is funny. And I do like both Fletch films for Apollo Creed, especially the beginning of part 2 when the blind Greek guy, well, he's blind, the old Greek guy feels him up and he calls himself Peggy Sue Zorba. I like that movie quite a bit. Let's see where we at. Modern Problems is one of my favorite Chevy Chase movies. Such a strange movie. I love Fletch. Well, Edge Scarborough, I like Modern Problems too. That's the one where he gets infected by the nuclear waste and he has like psychic powers. I like that movie. It's weird. I think it's got Dabney Coleman in it, but I like it. Gamepad 31 Live says, seems public theaters are going out of business and home theaters are on the rise. Your thoughts on that? Excuse me. Yes. I mean, that's going to be the future, but I do like going to a movie theater. My local AMC has definitely upped their game. They have renovated all the theaters, and I don't necessarily like assigned seating, but if you can get the tickets early and you can get a seat on the edge, the recliners are nice and comfy. The snacks are overpriced, but it's still, when I was a kid, going to the movies was a big deal for me. I didn't do it a lot, because my mom would always buy me shit, but we wouldn't do stuff that it would cost for her and me to do. She's like, I'd rather just give you stuff. So, she was a single parent, not a complaint. I had everything. I can't bitch about a single thing. But movies are still just a fun event for me. Even if it's something basic, like, I don't know, go catch a $2 movie on a Tuesday or something. I still like the theater going experience. But, I do like the home theater experience as well. Phil, who used to be on the show, has a nice setup. He's got a big 60-inch 4K TV. He dropped over $1,000 on speakers. We watched Dunkirk Black Friday, and it looked and sounded great. So, I mean, when I move and get the right setup, I'm going to have a home theater system. Believe me, I don't want to do the projector. I do like the high-end TVs. That is my thing. The high-end TVs are for me. But yeah, that is the future. It's sad if anybody loses a job or to watch an industry die. I don't know, man. Before it dies, before the streaming thing becomes the complete norm, the internet in this country has to be upgraded. Even I, who have upgraded my internet to the highest tiered package and, pay way more money and have upgraded my router and everything and modem, even I have hiccups. Like last night on the High Council, my internet just cut out. Once you get that consistent internet stream speed across the country, not just in major cities like this and bigger cities, you need it everywhere. When that becomes standard and there's just Wi-Fi everywhere, then we'll start to be able to have that discussion about that and gaming and all that other stuff. But until then, I think we're still going to have both home media and theater going experiences and stuff like that. Plus, the theater going experience, it makes, billions of dollars. Yes, that's the grosses, not the revenue. Or that's revenue, not the profit, excuse me. But, hypothetically, let's say you're going to stream Avengers. You could invite 30 people over and, only one person pays. So I think there will be some hiccups. Because people say about pirating, but it's your own home. You can do whatever you want. Hypothetically, like, some of us do. Like, there are other wrestling pay-per-views we'll watch. We'll all chip in $10 and watch it, and a whole bunch of people come over and order pizza. But they only got one pay-per-view sale. So it's going to be an interesting future. Entertainment, to me, to analyze its future is always interesting. Wanderers, heavy panting, breathing. Did I miss it? Well, Wanderer, if you're talking about our title, Star Wars Tauntanus and the Green New Deal, you did miss that, because we've been going for 2 hours and 45 minutes at this point. But thank you for the super chat. I hope you go back and check out the opening. But if I missed your reference, I also apologize. Yes, I've seen Nothing But Trouble. It's with Demi Moore and Chevy Chase, and Dan Aykroyd is the judge with the penis nose, and he eats the hot dog with the mayonnaise on it. It's a dumb movie. Jeff, I'm only 2 hours away from Detroit and go down there frequently. We definitely need to hang out. Plus, after Celebration, we need to do a wrestling podcast together. Definitely. We'll talk about some wrestling. I'll get Kendo. ETEP, I was actually thinking about trying to get other wrestling podcasts together. Like, I know What's Wrong with Wrestling has a decent following, Solid Monster, and trying to get those to do like a high council of wrestling, just one time type of thing. It wouldn't be, I actually would record it off air, like, not live, and put it up and try to, cross promote brands just for fun. But I think we'll be in Detroit for the Lonely Island concert in June. So there you go. If you want to try to work something out. What do I think of Ghost Rider? The character, I like the character. It's weird. When you're me, obviously there's only me, but I'm a comic book fan. But there are times when I'm into different decades. So, like, I always like to read Spider-Man, and I always like to read Batman and stuff like that. But now I'm in this kick where I want to read 70s comics because I like the art and the style was different. So Ghost Rider, I do like those comics, and I've been reading, or getting ready to read, some of the 70s horror from Marvel. Now, if you're asking about the film, the first time I saw Ghost Rider, I liked it. It was 07. Remember the standard back then was, we had Spider-Man 3, Ghost Rider, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. When Spider-Man 3 is the best film in terms of comic book movies for that year, whatever. Second one is balls to the wall stupid, and I love it. So just because I love it doesn't mean it's great, but I do like Ghost Rider roll. There's a Marvel Legends Ghost Rider I want to get. I didn't really want to pull the trigger on the price because he comes with a motorcycle, and I think he has a light-up head, but it looks fantastic, and I just want to own the character for my comic book figure collection. Hello, Scott from Geekstream. How you doing, man? Yep, I kept my promise. I am become Death Destroyer of Worlds. If I ever miss a stream, it's because of something I couldn't do. Like, I was going to do one on Saturday night for Shazam, but I got stuck in traffic because there was a wreck, and then I got home and I was tired, and I couldn't do a decent stream. But I got up super early this morning. I've had big cups of coffee, and we're rocking. One show that should have a comeback for the hell of it is Knight Rider. Anyone remember the 70s show with David Hasselhoff, not the 08 remake? I remember, Knight Rider's 80s. Yes, I love that theme song. And the car, that Walmart commercial, that would have been a Good Morning Pop Culture topic when it dropped. That Walmart commercial with the DeLorean and Kit and all of the family truckster, the Mutts cut wagon, all of that. That was, oh my God, that was my favorite commercial of the year. That or Harrison Ford's Amazon commercial was pretty damn good. But I like Knight Rider. To me, Knight Rider and Magnum PI and was it A-Team? Those kind of shows are they're very 80s. They are what they are, and I don't think they transcend their genre, or they stand out, but I don't think they elevate their genre. Excuse me. But they're fun. I wouldn't be opposed to like a one-off TV movie with David Hasselhoff, or like a Knight Rider Netflix thing with him in it. That could be fun. I will show a little bit of bias, though. I firmly believe you could make more episodes of Miami Vice right now, but bring back Don Johnson, Philip Michael Thomas, explain why they came back to being cops, and you could do a really interesting story about how the landscape of Miami has changed since 1989 to now. They're fighting different threats. Maybe there still are cocaine importing and stuff like that, but the 80s, it was a simpler crime time. No pun intended, or no rhyme intended. I don't know. You can just take certain things like that and kind of keep them going. Lethal Weapon, showed the characters through over a decade of their career, and I thought that was interesting. You can do it with Miami Vice. It's funny, we're talking about 80s shows. You know what I'd like to watch? I want to get the show V, that 80s miniseries about the aliens that came down and basically imprisoned Earth. That's a show I'm trying to catch. I've been looking for it. It's not streaming anywhere, and they only have documentaries about it on YouTube, but that's my next show I'm trying to check out. See you, Mr. V. We'll catch you next time, buddy. Let's see. Tales from the Dark Side. I've seen that. I've seen that show. It's on Shudder. So I have access to Shudder, and I've watched Tales from the Dark Side. I'm a big fan of all the I love horror anthology shows. It's not even that I'm like one of those horror files that wear the black t-shirts and tattoos and stuff. Like, I don't look like a horror fan. That's why, for a while I thought I had some issues at the horror cons, because I'm like, yeah, I don't look like these people. I don't think they're gonna be receptive to me. But it wasn't the case. Now, shit, people recognize this. It was cool but bizarre when like a kid's like, hey, I watch your show, and his mom's like, yeah, he loves your stuff. I'm like, oh wow, this is legit. So I mean, that was crazy for me. But I don't look like a horror fan, low-key horror fan. Testify HD, yes, I did. I was actually, it's funny that you brought up the Luke on a Tauntaun thing from the senator. That's why today's topic is what it is. Yeah, I had that right here. That made me laugh so hard. I thought that was a good way to was a low-key reboot to Good Morning Pop Culture. 2000 remake of Knight Rider only got 17 episodes in its first season. I guess people just hated it back in 08. I've only seen I was at a B-dubs watching a wrestling pay-per-view, and I think that show was on Sunday nights. So it was on a small TV, but I was there to watch a wrestling show. And that was it. I missed it completely. People are talking about Remington Steele. My wife prefers Pierce Brosnan as Remington Steele than James Bond. My aunt. Okay, so I had an aunt that died in 92, or is it 91? I was like 2 or 3 years old, so I don't remember this. But my mom said how they used to watch Remington Steele all the time, and my aunt swore he would make a great James Bond. And my mom I was like, man, that's kind of sad she never got to see him become James Bond, because back in the 90s, those were like the big event movies. That the Bond franchise really did pick right back up with GoldenEye through The World Is Not Enough. Those were 3 huge hits, and it was a good time to be a Bond fan. I know some people want to dump on those movies, but they were modern interpretations of classic Bond flicks. So the only sin they have to atone for is being true to their source, which you don't have to apologize for. But that's a discussion for another day. Tonight, actually. Do or do not, there is no sausage. Well, thank you, Bjorn. That Mustang kit was pretty crappy. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it either. Let's see. Jason Devine says, I love those movies, though I was admittedly already a huge Bond fan. I saw Goldfinger first, and I used to rent all the James Bond movies, but I remember watching GoldenEye as a kid, and I was into Bond movies before I got into the game. I know a lot of people love to use the excuse, well, you only like GoldenEye because of the game. No, I had seen a good chunk of the Bond movies before I ever played GoldenEye. Actually, my first introduction was James Bond Jr. That's a story for another time. Marette Theoline, thank you very much. Oh no, that's my mom's favorite piece. Oh, wouldn't be here if it wasn't. I love the Goonies so much. I wish, we don't even need an excuse to watch the Goonies. We should do an annual Goonies commentary. I don't think anyone would complain. It's just a fun movie. Is it the greatest movie ever made? No. Second. I'm glad your mom introduced you to James Bond movies early, Jason. Your mom has good taste. It's funny, sometimes people think like, oh, fathers and sons passed down through generations. A lot of times for like the shit I'm into, my mom either got me into it or I just kind of got into it on my own. With Star Wars, it was my own thing because my mom hated Star Wars. I think she still hates it, but she goes, I don't hate it anymore. And now she's happy with what it's done for the channel and stuff. But when it was new, she saw them because they were the event movies, but she's like, I don't like space. I'm like, okay, Mom, I'll have to say. Roger Moore was the best. Hey, if he's your favorite, more power to you. The Roger Moore film we're going to watch tonight for the channel is one of my personal favorites. So I'm very excited to watch A View to a Kill. Johnny Bravo should be a mandatory part of every child's childhood. I used to love that show. There was a rumor for like a decade that The Rock was going to play Johnny Bravo in a movie. Thankfully, that never happened because that would have been terrible. Or you could have just watched The Rock wrestle. He basically was, he cut some promos like a Johnny Bravo backstage early on his career. Alpha Terranema says, I always get mad at the end as the kids there was still a shit ton of treasure in the cave and on the ship nobody was going back for. Yeah, they had the right idea until the Fratellis showed up. I hate to say it. If I were the Fratellis, I know they're evil and they're greedy and they're the villains, but if I would have been like, look, there's more money, I'm like, kids, get your shit and get out of here, and then I would have taken the ship and gone off. I would have, for example, if I'm somewhere and I find a bunch of treasure, and I'm talking like more than I could ever get out, and it's like kind of life and death thing, I'm like, just take what you can, get the fuck out of here, and then go and never see those people again. But the Fratellis had to be dicks, and they got what's coming to them. Plus, the gems were enough to save the Goondocks, so everybody wins. I think that another reason why the Goonies is as positively remembered as it was, or is, because there was only one, and while I wanted to see more, everyone kind of had a time to glom onto that one movie, and it never, diluted the brand. Luckily, Star Wars had 3 great movies in a row. Same with Indiana Jones. But even the Bond franchise has some stinkers, and it takes time to rebuild from those. Let's see. Where are we at? You think Microsoft would do an original Xbox Classic like Sony did with the PlayStation Classic? Ooh, video game question. I picked up a PlayStation Classic for $39 at Walmart, so that's the only reason I have one. I think Microsoft is not going to, because they're going to stick with their next console. Like, they got the crossover with Nintendo and some of those exclusive games. I think the next Xbox is going to be out this year at Christmas time. And I think they'll just allow more backwards compatibility before they would ever put out a mini classic console. Because I think they re-released the Duke controller. And part of the nostalgia, the little plastic case that looks like an old Xbox would be great. But realistically, holding the controller, a vintage style controller in your hand, really takes you back. Like, I have the NES controller Joy-Cons for the Switch, and it's like you're playing NES, and you look at the TV in your hand, and that's, you're there. So I don't think you'll ever see that. Let's see, where are we at? When I think James Bond games, I think of The World Is Not Enough on PS1, which focus more on the spy part than the action. White Kitsu, I have that game. But when The World Is Not Enough came out, I got the N64 version, which was the only Nintendo 64 game that ever had to load, which was kind of weird. But I digress. I did pick it up for the original PlayStation for a penny years later on Amazon. And I think even recently I rebought another copy just to have for my James Bond collection. So I remember that game. I haven't really played through that edition. I might do that, though. I got a PS3 under my desk. I might pull that out because that plays PS1 games. So I got a PS3 that plays PS1 and 3, and then I got a PS2 with an HDMI adapter, and then a PS4 right next to me. So I can do every PlayStation game within arm's reach. And if I think it's PlayStation, I wouldn't call that my exclusive console of choice. I was a Nintendo kid growing up. I just, I wanted them all, actually. What up, Jeff the Iron Wolf? Welcome back to Good Morning Pop Culture, my friend. Yeah, EA made crappy games back then too, but I will stand by James Bond Nightfire and Everything or Nothing as 2 very fun. I won't call them movie tie-in games because they're original stories just based off licensed. We'll call them licensed franchises, like Spiderman from PS4 last year. Licensed game, one of the best PS4 games I've ever played. Best Spider-Man game, best superhero game, hands down. Fantastic. I still play it every once in a while. It never gets old. You get what you need out of it. Open world, you can web swing, you can do whatever you want to do. It's amazing. Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the sausage. That is true. The power of the sausage rules all. You know what? After I watch Lord of the Rings, I'll probably become a big fan. We'll do Lord of the Rings quote with sausages. Oh my God, that's going to be our next thing. So, Is there any? Wait, let's see. I only started to play Halo 2 on the original Xbox. Too late. I'm late to the party. Halo 2, excellent. Halo 2 was awesome. My mom bought it for me for Christmas in 04. She lost it, and then I got it like mid-April in 2005 because she couldn't find it. And then in the house, she's like, "Oh, I found your Halo game," and dude, I loved it. I remember my neighbor and I used to play multiplayer, and it was just so much fun. I miss that, like going to your friend's house to play a video game. Yeah, the internet's great, but there's nothing like getting your buddies over for like GoldenEye or Pokemon Stadium or Mario Kart, any of that shit. Let's see. Marath Dealing, thank you very much. T-shirt idea. Fantastic Four. Thing with Jeff's face and his hands in a muff. It's muffin time. We are going to do some comic book covers as the World Class Bullshitters. I got some of those planned out, so that's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are going to be loving those. You can collect all the shirts. So what are we on? We're on hour 3. So we're going to start rolling this thing back because it is time to... I got some stuff I got to do. I got to record the next video. I'm going to eventually eat lunch, get to the gym, take care of all that business. And then tonight, if you're a patron, I'm going to record a View to a Kill commentary. So you guys will have that tomorrow. And I'm going to put the WrestleMania thing too. Like I said, it's double content. So people that don't like wrestling don't think that's your bonus piece of content for the week. And then you're going to get the podcast after hours, all that shit too. So be prepared for that. So if anybody has any other questions, let me know, because it's going to be a little bit of a wait for the next Good Morning Pop Culture. We definitely just went off on a tangent. It was, a fun show. Before, I'm like, oh yeah, Good Morning Pop Culture, I'll do it because fans want it. And now I'm like, I want to do it more often because I've had a great time. How to lose 3 hours? Do an episode of Good Morning Pop Culture. Shit just flies by. But make sure you guys have your notifications turned on because I will always announce when I do these. I'm not just going to wake up early one day and go, hey, Good Morning Pop Culture. And another thing about this channel, the beauty of it, is this channel is Good Morning Pop Culture as well as the archive. I'm going to actually make a banner for the channel. It's going to be like home of Good Morning Pop Culture and the World Class Bullshitters official archive. And all of our streams will be archived here. So this is our long form channel. And it'll help the channel growth. We won't have any kind of problems, and everybody wins. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys for sticking with us. It's been a long time since this show's been here, but it won't be another 4 months till we come back. I promise. Wanderer says, "There, sausages, and I slaughtered them like sausages. The women and the children." Oh my god, I love it, dude. If we could only CGI a sausage over Hayden Christensen's face, that'd be amazing. We need a Spaceballs watch party if you haven't already. We have done it, but we can do another one. Why the hell not? If you guys want the same movie watch parties, gladly. I'll give you guys what you want. Just show up. I will admit, people are talking about once a week on Wednesdays would be great. Wednesday is probably the worst day to do it because the High Council goes so late these days. I mean, 1 o'clock is fine, and then you normally sleep and get up about 9 or 10, and you can get on with your show and do the stuff you got to do. But because Good Morning Pop Culture tries to start around 7:45, Wednesday would be rough. I think Monday would be the best. Usually people have a case of the Mondays. We can help ease you into the work week type of thing. Plus, I always get my videos, or I've been trying to get my videos done before Monday, because like some of the 2 million viewed Captain Marvel video, I made that on Sunday, and then I finished it on Monday morning, and then when I was done, it went uploaded instantly. So it was kind of like, boom, boom type of process. But I've been trying to do stuff earlier, and I give everything the same writing and editing process. I take my time, but usually I get it done, and then it goes up right away. If I get on a new schedule where the shit gets done earlier, and we put it out, like it's done on Monday, I can do the Monday Good Morning Pop Culture, upload a video, and boom, we're done. So I want to do this. I like it. Believe me. We'll just figure out a schedule. We got to do this, the channel, finish the book, launch the website, and I think we'll all be good. 2018 was a ridiculous year. 2019 has already been better. So I'm excited for everything else. So I am going to go to the P.O. Boxes are in Japan. I'm actually going to go today, because I want to film okay, so I'll be out of town starting next Thursday through celebrations following Wednesday. I'm going to be gone for a while. So I got to do all my content now as well as live streams and shit like that. So I'm going to go film a P.O. Box video. I got another P.O. Box video for this Friday, and I'll put it out over the weekend. And yeah, there's just tons of content coming your way, guys. So make sure that you're subscribed to World Class Bullshitters. If you're not, well, I don't know how you found Good Morning Pop Culture. So, folks, that is it for the return of Good Morning Pop Culture. Hopefully you guys had a fun time. And as always, be excellent to each other.